From historic Canton, Ohio, where the future of American football will be on display, Team USA and Team Canada will go at it, the gold medal game of the Junior World Championships here in 2009, as Team Canada, the #1 seed, going against the 2 seed, the U.S. team. Kevin Eschenfelder alongside Charles Davis. This one should be a lot of fun to watch. A lot of motivation for both of these teams. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a moment. But as far as Team USA is concerned, these are guys that get a chance to see themselves and compare themselves against some of the best players in the country.
Yeah, what a contrast across the country, too, because you're getting some of the better players out of Ohio, out of Florida, out of Texas, out of California. They love it. Compare and contrast, and they like what they've seen so far, and they've come together as a team. For Canada, they've done the same thing in their country, too, although the bulk of their team does come from the Quebec area.
All right, let's show you exactly who is here, because 8 different countries representing 4 continents here at the IFAF Junior World Championships. Canada, the U.S., and Japan, all with an automatic bid. Mexico lost yesterday to Japan in the bronze medal game. Germany, Sweden, France, and New Zealand all here as well. As far as how they got here, well, Team USA has really had an easy road through a 78-0 win over France. Had no problems with Mexico. As for Canada, no problem with New Zealand. They did have some problems with Japan. Had to come from behind and win that one 38-35. Now, one of the great things about this, as far as you, the viewer, you're at home and you get a chance to see some of the future stars in college football. You're not going to have to wait long. David Wilson he's headed for Virginia Tech. He's a lot of fun to watch.
Hokey, hokey, hokey,
Yeah,
high. This guy's been tremendous, the best player in the tournament thus far. His stats leap off the page at you. You have to remember, he's not playing that much. Only 23 carries, averaging 14 yards per carry, 7 touchdowns. Strength, elusiveness, and leadership. He's one of the team's captains. On the defensive side, there's another captain, the State Player of the Year in Ohio. He's already headed to Ohio State, participated in spring practice there. That's Storm Klein. He will set the defense for the USA and actually will participate as a spy at times against the quarterbacks of Canada.
This is a very fast defense for Team USA. That means that really Jeremy Doyon-Rock for Team Canada, he's going to have to make some quick decisions, and he's going to have to keep his head on a swivel.
The good thing is that he has a calmness about him, and he's very accurate when he throws the football. 257 yards and 3 touchdown passes, including the game winner against Japan in a 2-minute drill where he led the team down in just a little bit more than a minute for the game-winning touchdown pass to his #1 target, Alex Anthony, who had 5 catches on the day, but the biggest, 33 yards, broke 3 tackles, got into the end zone, and gave Canada the win.
You know, as far as these two teams are concerned, maybe the biggest surprise is the seeding, and that's been a bone of contention all throughout this week here in Canton. For more on that and these two teams, we call on Samantha Steele.
Guys, there's always a lot of motivation when you're playing in a championship game, but there's some extra motivation out here today. For the U.S., it's all about pride. They came in a little bit offended being ranked #2, losing to Canada from the start. So they felt like they really need to step their game up and prove that the U.S. is the home of American football. Now, also for Canada, it's kind of a practical issue. Each of these players had to pay $1,500 to get themselves there. And if you remember being 19 years old, that is a huge investment, and I'm sure they're going to want to make the most of that. I talked to head coach Glenn Constantine, and I asked him if that #1 seeding means anything. He said about all it means is we get to be first in line in the cafeteria. But if you've seen these kids eat, it's actually a pretty big deal. Back up to you guys.
Big guys there. They want to hurry up and get to that chow line, but they are to the end of the line. Who will walk away with the gold? Who will walk away with the silver? It is Team USA taking on Team Canada from Canton, Ohio, next on Fox College Sports. The 2009 IFAF Junior World Championship is brought to you by Under Armour, the fastest generation of cleats. By Riddell, the official football protective equipment partner of USA Football. And by the Hall of Fame Enshrinement Festival. It's a one-of-a-kind celebration. Team USA, the #2 seed here in Canton, Ohio. These are players 19 and under. It's the International Federation of American Football Junior World Championships. Again, 8 different teams advancing here to Canton, Ohio. 8 different countries, 4 different continents, all on hand. Team USA has stepped through this tournament. Team Canada with a 3-point win over Japan to advance to this one. Let's talk about the keys to the game, brought to you by Gatorade and Wilson, official product partner of the Junior World Championships.
And the keys for the United States are David Wilson, the running back. How will they get him the ball when they know Canada's going to key out him? How creative will they be? And how motivated is the United States? As much has been said about being number 2, they believe they're the teachers of the game of American football. They want to prove it. For Canada, pump the brakes. The United States has gotten off to 24-0 and 27-0 first quarter advantages. Canada must not let that happen. And tradition, Canada is actually 7-5 against the United States in international competition on the junior national level. Many people don't know that. Canada believes they're the number 1 seed for a reason.
And a lot of times, in all fairness to the U.S. junior national team, they would play in these competitions, and basically they would
throw
take
together
an all-star team, and they would even do it from a county, say a Broward County or a Dade County around in Florida. They would bring those together, and they would call that a junior national team. This is truly a junior national team, and it has certainly looked the part here in Canton, Ohio. So we are ready to go. Mike Loftus has it teed up, the gold medal game, and we are underway. It'll go to Alex Anthony. Anthony with a seam up the middle, closed in a hurry, and he gets to the 25-yard line. J.R. McMonaco makes that first tackle. Again, an extremely fast U.S. team, and Jeremy Doyon-Rock, the quarterback for Team Canada. 6'3", 180 pounds, and you will see very much a French-Canadian influence throughout the names of this Canadian team. They just about completely hail from the province of Quebec. Up the middle they go. And again, this is a gain of about 7 yards. Stephen Lubala, who is really the best runner on this Canadian team. And now I want to talk to you real quick, as after we take a look at these starting lineups that are brought to you by the Pro Football Hall of Fame, America's premier sports showcase and museum. Big guys up front for Team Canada. It's a pretty big offensive line, 6'6", 295 and 6'6", 350 on that left side. There you see the backs and receivers, and they do have some good receivers led by Alex Anthony. Straight drop to throw. Does throw. This one is picked off. Going the other way. It didn't take long for our star of the game to show his stuff. Storm Klein, the Gatorade High School Player of the Year here in the Buckeye State, and he'll be playing for Ohio State this fall.
It'll be interesting for Canada to see how they can adapt to playing against USA's 3-3-5 stack defense. Most teams play a 4-2, and in a 3-3-5 stack, your middle linebacker has to be a guy that can run, and Storm Klein can certainly do that. An all-state fullback and linebacker. He showed his offensive skills as well as his defensive skills on that play.
At Licking Valley High School, he rushed for over 6,000 yards on the ground in his career. 3-time All-Stater. Now first down and 10 for Team USA. They'll go into the end zone. First play, touchdown, USA. Jamal Davis got a step, and that's all he needed. The 6'3", 185-pounder from Coral Springs, Florida, and it is 6-0 with just one play in the book.
Coaches like to be aggressive after a turnover, want to attack right away, and that's what the USA team does. First snap, Bryce Petty, excellent protection, steps back and throws the fade to the corner of the end zone. Jamal Davis wide open as he gets off the line of scrimmage clean. The initial score of the game goes to Team USA.
Loftus the point after. The low hold, and the extra point no good. Hit it up that left upright, but the damage done so far early on. Jamal Davis is headed for Florida Atlantic. He's got a 6-0 lead for Team USA. 6-0. You wonder, what did you do this 4th of July weekend? I think these guys spent the whole weekend with a little body paint. And USA leading 6-0. An interception, and then one play later, Storm Klein picked it off, and the next play, Bryce Petty going up top to Jamal Davis, and just like that, it is 6-0 Team USA. Loftus missed the extra point. Debo and Anthony back deep for Team Canada. This is almost a must. As fast as this defense, and as good as this defense is for Team USA, well, the last thing you want to do is fall behind early on, and that is obviously something that Team Canada has done. Stepped out of bounds as he caught it. Now terrible field position as Thibault had his left foot out of bounds, and so the ball will be set inside the 10-yard line. Right outside the 10, I beg your pardon. See where they bring it out to. Nope. 7-yard line is where he stepped out. There you see head coach Chuck Kyle. St. Ignatius High School here in Cleveland. Look what his team has done here in this junior national team. And look at that. That is just, I mean, it's unfair in what they've almost been able to do.
Go back to one of the keys of the game was weather the early storm for Canada because of the advantages Team USA has had in the first quarter. Already down 6-0.
The number that stands out, you think about 42 yards of total defense or total offense is what they've allowed, and that is why plays just like that. Jordan Lynch, the strong safety, stepping up and making the play. Stephen Lubala did not have a chance.
And what's going to happen for Canada is they've got to find a way to get the USA defense to retreat a little bit before coming forward. In other words, the USA team is not even having to worry about reading too many keys right now. They're playing what is called downhill, straight at the offense. Because when you got the safeties involved that quickly, that means they're not as concerned about being pressed with the pass game by the receivers of Canada.
3-yard loss here. Handed off to Lubala again, and he didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. They are all over. Chris Payne from Columbia, South Carolina. He is headed to South Carolina. Look at him shoot through.
Safety blitz right from the middle. Remember, it's a 3-3-5 alignment. 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers, 5 defensive backs. Chris Payne is playing the free safety. The guy in the middle read it perfectly, right at the snap of the football, knifed into the line of scrimmage, and made the tackle.
2 plays, Canada has lost 6 yards. Straight drop to throw, he will hand it off. And right out, maybe a gain of a yard, but that was the end of the road. I'm telling you, this is a team. Robert Bell, who we had a nice visit with yesterday. What a gentleman, what a fine young man. He absolutely laid the leather to the running back, Lubala.
And we'll also see him play offense, too, at the fullback position for Team USA. He scored both sides of the ball in the last game.
He's the one.
Picked up a fumble and scored on defense and scored on a pass reception on offense.
And he's the one that told us, we're not worried about this series. We're the teachers.
We're the teachers.
We're going out, and I think class was in session. And that was a hard lesson to learn that he just administered. All right, so here we go. It's punt time. Lirim.
He's going to take a safety.
Yep.
Rather than punt the football away.
Why not?
They're trying to play field position here. They were more worried about Team USA's coming down on a big return from Eric Laura and possibly scoring, and now they're going to go ahead and play field position.
Ajralahu just steps out of the back of the end zone, and so they'll bring it back out here, and you'll have to kick it from the 20-yard line.
And we saw Chuck Kyle, the head coach of Team USA, calling for the return unit that he wants on the field versus the free kick coming from Canada now. Glenn Constantine, the head coach of Canada. Yeah, I had a chance to talk with Coach Kyle before the game, and before state championship games, he's won 10 state championships at St. Ignatius in Cleveland and 2 mythical national championships. You know what he told me? You know what he does? He keeps these charms in his pocket. One from 1918. His grandfather won a state championship as a player in Alabama.
Wow.
His father won one in Indiana in 1937, a state championship. And then his first state championship as a head coach at St. Ignatius in 1988. 3 charms he always keeps in his pocket for the big games in state. I asked him if he had them, and he said, no, I didn't get a chance to get home and get them, but they're with me in spirit.
There you go. There you go. And there he is.
10 state championships?
Yeah, in 21 years.
And 21 straight playoff appearances?
Yes. There you see Canadians lead the all-time series 7-6. And again, it's not a true U.S. junior national team that they have been playing about as far as the history until today. So after the safety, they'll kick it away. Brian Fields straight up the seam, and Fields out to the 40-yard line. So now we get a chance really to identify this offense for the first time for Team USA, because they didn't take long to score at all. As Bryce Petty, the quarterback, will bring his team out on the field as Brian Fields, the nice return young man from Newcastle, Delaware, headed to Virginia Tech as well. There you see Bryce Petty, 6'3", 220 pounds, originally committed to Tennessee. After the coaching changed his commitment. He is headed to Baylor. He's from Midlothian, Texas, in the Dallas area. The captain of this team. Big, strong-armed kid. And, boy, you talk about bright-eyed and a nice young man to visit with. After our meetings yesterday, you walk around thinking, He knows what he's talking about. So does this guy. And he's hit David Wilson as Wilson takes it ahead for a couple. All right, once again, we take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by the Pro Football Hall of Fame, America's premier sports showplace. Those big guys up front, and they're going everywhere from that left to right. Ohio State, Kent State, Ole Miss in the middle. IU going to Indiana is Aaron Price, and University of Virginia on the right side. There's your backs and receivers, Bryce Petty and David Wilson leading the way. The tight end, he's big, strong. He can block. Cummings and Dobson there as well. 2nd down and 7. Again, Wilson, the single setback. Hand it to him again. He's going to reverse field. Gets a block from Petty. Look at this. Lost 4 yards, but exciting from the time he took the football until the time they finally tackled him.
Most exciting 4-yard loss you'll see, but a 4-yard loss nonetheless, and this was really well played by Team Canada. Nice block by Petty there, but the great job by the team by Team Canada holding their position and staying home on the backside. You know, the pursuit went one way, the flow went one way, but they didn't over-pursue. They stayed in their lanes, and when he made the cutback and reverse field, they were waiting for him.
George Washington High School in Virginia, from Danville, Virginia, 5'11", 192 pounds. As we said, headed to Virginia Tech. Here comes the pressure, and he'll go down. Well, Team Canada needed that in a big way. Didn't take them long to get there. Byron Perez Archambault there to make the sack, and now it'll be punting time for Team USA.
A lot of times on defense it's as simple as send more guys than they can block. And that's exactly what happened. Coverage held up very well in the secondary, and Archambault was the first guy to get to the quarterback, and that's going to go a long way towards settling down Team Canada.
Vanier College Cheetahs is where he plays his college football. He was the defensive MVP for that team, and you see why. Archambault backing Team USA up, and now they'll have to punt.
And sometimes when things come very easy early, Kevin, it's hard for a team mentally to stay with it. We'll see if the USA team does.
Barasa dropped it, picked it up, and he's hit immediately and brought down by Stottlemyre. So a timeout on the field just about midway through the first quarter. Team USA leading 8-0. Well, USA with a touchdown, a missed extra point, and a safety that they forced on that last possession. And now Team Canada has the football, an important possession this one is indeed. Jeremy Doan Rock finally with a little room to work with. And we got this first down at 10. 6:31 to go. We're in the first quarter. Rumbala trying to get to the outside, and there's just no way you're going to do it. There's a face mask penalty that's coming up as Edwards got a hand in there.
Two flags thrown on the play, one thrown inside by the referee and one by the side judge. I think we got a face mask for one. We might have a hold for the other.
Carson Rockhill and Tariq Edwards, the guilty parties for their respective teams. All right, let's show you. Brandon Sharp sets up there up front with that 3-man front along with Chris Henderson and Russos. As far as those linebackers are concerned, they can fly. Tariq Edwards, who just made that tackle, along with Klein, who had the interception earlier. Chris Norman and Pat Hinkle, the D-backs. Thomas and Thomas are the corners, and Lynch and Payne are the safeties.
No relation are the Thomas twins, but they're both going to Syracuse.
Ocean Lakes, Florida, and Miami, Florida. Again, both will be wearing the orange. And again, another penalty marker down on this play. So let's go to Samantha Steele.
Yeah, guys, I'm joined by a very special group. This is Team New Zealand, and specifically our captain here, Jacob Telliai. Did I say it right with a little accent?
Yes.
I'm trying. I'm working on it. So first you got to explain to me what happened. Did rugby not work out for you, or?
Rugby is still there as an option. Yeah, I just put it on hold just for this tournament.
So how'd you get involved in football?
My brother actually just started getting into the game, so I just followed.
So what do you think of Team USA? You think you can take these guys? You didn't get to play them this tournament.
Think we can take Team USA? No way.
That wasn't a joke. Wait a second.
No.
So any influences? Anybody? You guys get satellite TV, right? So you watch some NFL?
Yeah, we do.
Who do you like?
I'm a Steelers fan.
Steelers, I'm a Cardinals fan. This does not work out well, guys. We'll send it back up to you.
All right, thank you very much.
Cardinals fan.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Team New Zealand, now you could tell that was a program that was really in its infancy. They stumbled their way through this, and you know what? With each tournament and more exposure to the game, they're going to get better and better, just like everybody else here. That's first down in the game for Team Canada.
Go back to the safety. When everybody's wondering what was Glenn Constantine doing, the head coach for Canada. He settled his team down, and rather than give up another big play, they took the free kick, punted it away, defense came through, and it helped their field position.
Fake it to Lumbala. They throw this one in the flat once again. This one is complete. You know, they are just moving it along methodically right now as Julian Bailey makes the catch. He had 4 catches in the Japanese game. Let's take a look at our pregame injury report, courtesy of Altman and Mercy Sports Medicine. And for the most part, both of these teams pretty healthy. Tyler Dipple is out, and Canadians have no injuries to report. Good to go.
Tyler Dipple, they're holding him out precautionary reasons, has a sore knee. Will matriculate at the University of Wisconsin this fall. Defensive lineman / fullback.
Up the middle they go. Not a lot there. Is Stephen Lubala from the University of Calgary, the youngest of 3 brothers that play this game. Preston Brown out of Grand Prairie, Texas, there to make that tackle.
3rd and short. What about 3rd and about 2?
Yep, about 2, right at.
I would not be surprised here if Steve Speck, the defensive coordinator for Team USA, shows the 3-3 look and brings a lot of pressure here. I think he's going to try and overwhelm the run lanes and try and get to the quarterback if they decide to throw it.
They've got to get to the 45 for the first down. Busted play, not going to get there. Now he did. How about that? Looked like he was going to be nailed in the backfield. Dove through and hit through a seam, went over the 45. It's enough for a first down, but you got a penalty marker down at the top of the screen.
And if the USA jumped, they may very well go ahead and take the penalty and gain additional yardage.
Yeah, absolutely. You take that one.
The 34 defense.
So you get the first down and extra yards. That's twice now we've seen Team USA's defense jumping in the neutral zone, trying to get an advantage on the snap count.
And it was a linebacker, Chris Norman. That gives you an idea just how aggressive this defense is.
First and 10, Team Canada.
Eleanor Bolstad is our referee. He's from Norway. Again, the international field, it is the Junior World Championships. See all the different countries represented. Coming from Germany, of course, the United States. That one's incomplete. A lot of white jerseys down there around Julian Bailey, the intended receiver.
Trying to take advantage of the USA's aggressiveness, a little pump and go, hoping that they would bite on the corner and try and get one deep. Don't be surprised if you see some screen passes coming soon from Canada. Try and slow down the aggressive rush of Team USA.
Second down and 10, under 4 minutes to go. We're in the first quarter. Just joining us, these players 19 and under. It's the gold medal game of the International Federation of American Football's Junior World Championships. We're here in Canton, Ohio. Fawcett Stadium. Lubala has some room to run. To the 25, breaks it outside, stepped out of bounds at the 21. Chris Norman finally made the stop, but not before a big gain of first down, a 19-yard pickup. And the Canadians have something rolling.
Very impressive run because he goes through 2 tackles attempted by Team USA before stepping over the sideline. Right there, the first one powers right through, continues to go. Excellent run by Stephen Lumbala.
Lumbala started as far as playing sports, like a lot of these teams, like these players on this team, started playing hockey. Now loving the American football thing and going left side. And there's some holes up front. Chris Norman finally made the tackle, but at least as far as the last few plays, Team Canada's winning the battle at the line of scrimmage.
They're doing a nice job in their zone running game. The big guys up front controlling the three-man down front of Team USA. And keep a particular eye on number 60 in red, Kirby Fabian. Their best offensive lineman has drawn some notice from a number of teams in the United States about his potential.
Danny Grew on that right side, left side as well. I beg your pardon, 6'6", 350 pounds. Lavartu's 270 pounds at the center position. This one's going absolutely nowhere. Well, they jumped through it. Preston Brown came through to make that stop. hit him in a hurry. And Ubala got a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. And that has been something he has seen plenty of so far in this early going in this game. Although on this drive, it's been a different story.
On second down, Team USA brought their pressure package. We don't be surprised if they bring it again now.
Markers down. You'll have a procedure penalty. You'll go from 3rd and 6 to 3rd and 11.
Now the advantage shifts back to Team USA on defense there. That gives them a chance to actually do the dictating on 3rd and 11. They can go ahead and show pressure, drop back into coverage. They can come with the pressure now and try and create a big play.
First penalty of the day against Team Canada. So now have to get it to the 11-yard line for the first down. Throws it over the middle and it's incomplete. And so 4th down coming for Canada. It would be a 37-yard field goal attempt, and see what they do here.
How about Chris Norman, number 34, with a big hit on Jeremy Doyen Rock, the quarterback. Helps cause the incompletion, and on the spot is number 26, Chris Payne. So excited to be back playing football as Chris Payne broke his ankle his senior year, missed most of that season. But as a junior, had 139 tackles.
And 9 sacks.
Yeah, 18 for loss. Guy had 5 forced fumbles. I think he's the very definition of an enforcing safety.
Playing for Steve Spurrier at South Carolina. And that is good. Laram Hajralahu had a 42-yarder the other day and a 37-yarder to add to that. College sports fans, you don't have FCS, you can call 877 to get FCS or visit foxcollegesports.com and get over 72 hours of daily college sports programming delivered right to your living room. Fox College Sports, where college never ends. Kevin Eschenfelder, Charles Davis with you upstairs. Samantha Steele down on the sideline on a gorgeous afternoon here in Canton, Ohio. Nice cool temperatures. Warmed up just a little bit, but still temperatures probably right around 80 degrees for this game today, and it won't get any warmer than that.
The first point scored in this tournament against Team USA.
Wow. Hey, to give you an idea just how good they have been, they held Mexico to 28 yards rushing and 35 yards of total offense.
I think it was actually minus 28 rushing.
Yeah, I beg your pardon. Minus 28 rushing and 35 yards of total offense.
Total offense.
And then France, 7 yards of total offense. So it has been a dominating performance. That drive in and of itself to leading to points, that's an upset by itself right there. Here we go with Team USA on the kickoff return. Bailey will bring it ahead. Bailey may go. Knocked out of bounds out near midfield, and it took the kicker to knock him down. Brian Fields, beg your pardon, on that carry as Fields brought it back. This is a guy who had over 5,000 yards and 74 touchdowns in his high school career from Newcastle, Delaware.
Good job blocking from his teammates. Nice job with his vision, seeing the hole. Now it'll be interesting to see what Team USA decides to do and how they attack Canada. Canada loves to keep their 4-3 base defense. Always want to have 7 in the box. See if Team USA decides to try and attack on the flanks now more than in the middle.
Straight drop to throw out of the gun. It's complete. Room to run. Tevin Reese, and Reese has a first down. Reese from Temple High School in Texas. He's headed to Baylor as well. And you'll see that pitch and catch duo on the collegiate level in the future. Bryce Petty, the man who threw it, he's also headed to Baylor.
Last possession, Team USA tried to run it inside a couple of times with David Wilson and had no success. Let's see if they decide to get outside a little bit more and try and pull Canada out of their 4-3 shell.
Low snap. Wilson with room to work. And a good tackle. You talk about being out on an island for Team Canada because there was just not a whole lot of help. And Mike Dubuisson was there to make that stop. You have to feel very lonely with that guy coming at you like that.
Yeah, one-on-one tackling in the secondary. That's why the spread is so prevalent. When you have types of backs and receivers that can make people miss in the open field, it's a terrific offense to run.
Now Bell, who made the big hit on the defensive side, checks in at fullback. Looking to lead the way for Wilson. They run the option. Petty with plenty of room to run. Now pitches it back. Wilson's got the corner, and he'll score. "33-yard touchdown." And the option was run to perfection by Bryce Petty.
Team USA saw Japan use the option with great success against Canada and made sure that was on their ready list for this game. Neither Bryce Petty nor Philip Butterfield are known as classic running quarterbacks, but just by threatening the edge and having David Wilson as a pitch guy, the option gives them great options.
Point after is good. And you know, as soon as you saw Mike Dubas on number 33 commit to the quarterback, the play was over. As soon as he pitched it, Wilson turned the corner. There was no way you were going to make up ground against him. Watch 33 in the red.
And watch Bryce Petty. He is not your classic option quarterback, but he runs it so well. Makes the defender commit to him first, and then able to take it out of from the tuck position back to the position to pitch it wide to David Wilson. Could not have been run better by a quarterback who doesn't do that very often. Nice job by Bryce Petty.
Now, football fans, tune into the entire fall semester as Fox College Sports offers its biggest slate of exclusive Big 12 football ever. And a couple of guys you'll see in the Big 12. Bryce Petty hooking up just a moment ago. Tevin Reese going to Baylor and said he could not put into words what it meant to be named captain of this team. He said he ran to the dorm room. First thing he did, like we all do, called mom and dad and tell them the exciting news. And that's quite an honor because being named captain of Team USA meant that your teammates voted on it. It wasn't appointed by the coaches. So all 4 captains elected by the team. Well, Wilson, a 33-yard touchdown run, and so Team Canada will get the football back now, trailing 15-3. 8 seconds to play here in this first quarter. Alex Anthony bringing it ahead and didn't get far. Good coverage for Team USA as Philip Thomas was the man down there on the tackle. Thomas from Miami Edison High School is headed he's headed to Syracuse. And there is Jeremy Doyon-Rock. Cool customer.
Yeah, and he continues to run the ball club. Don't be surprised if soon Canada doesn't go for a little change-up and maybe brings in number 7, Brandon Bridge, their backup quarterback, who they have a smaller package of plays for, much more of a running threat from the shotgun formation.
Lubala up the middle. Lubala ran right into the heart of that defense for Team USA, and it has been Team USA's defense. David Herman on that tackle, leading the way. 1 quarter in the books, 15-3. Now ready for the second quarter. 2009 International Federation of American Football Junior World Championships. We're at Canton, Ohio. Fawcett Stadium, good crowd on hand for this one as Team USA well represented in that first quarter. 15-3. They lead it over Team Canada. Team Canada, the number 1 seed. Team USA, the number 3 seed. That one is complete. Julian Bailey making the catch. And there's just not a whole lot. Once he makes the catch, Preston Brown was there to escort him to the turf. First quarter stats brought to you by Riddell, the official football protective equipment partner of USA Football. As you might imagine, you would think that it would be all dominated by Team USA. Basically everything Canada got was on that last drive that led to 3 points.
And remember, Team USA was a 1-play drive for their first touchdown, so they didn't have very far to go after the turnover.
No, we didn't do it. We were going to.
Jeremy Doyon-Rock, straight drop to throw, did throw it. And that is where the pressure comes in. Throw it a little bit earlier than you're used to. All of the timing gets thrown off, and now a 4th down is coming up. Julian Bailey, once again, the intended receiver. Chris Payne was there to make sure he could not hold on to the football. So Team USA gets the football back.
What the pressure does is that even if you're not getting to the quarterback on certain plays, they think you're going to.
Yep.
So it speeds up everything on the offensive side for Canada. That ball was gone probably a half count too early from Jeremy Doyon Rock's hands. Receiver hadn't even gotten his head around to have an opportunity to catch the football.
Hajwalahu will kick it away. Eric Laura is back deep, and Laura takes it at the 35-yard line. Laura, the quickness to get to the 45, and that is a penalty marker that comes in late. This is going to cost somebody some real estate. A very late penalty marker that came in way away from the play.
Personal foul, 61, Canada. 15-yard penalty,
That is not good for Team Canada. Leveaway was the man who was called for it. Kyle Leveaway, a personal foul, sets it up at the 40-yard line as we go to Samantha Steele.
Coach, but when he found out he only had 2 weeks to prepare for this game, he decided to think outside of the box a little bit and actually got some former players that used to play for him at Cleveland St. Ignatius to set up a little video game system for him. They actually implemented and loaded in all of his plays into Madden 09 to teach the guys concepts. They set up 10 plasma screens in their players lounge over at Walsh University, sat the guys down, and really worked on technique and understanding coverages. He said even in Madden, they can disguise coverages on there, so it was really helpful for their quarterback. Guys, I guess it's one of those things, you just got to meet kids where they're at, right? I mean, come on, just use whatever it takes, right?
Yeah, you're right about that, Samantha. The only thing that these kids have to realize is that when you're playing a game for real, there's no reset button if you get behind. Yeah, just go ahead and power through, but great job of him thinking outside the box. Nice story.
Yeah, it's not a lesson unless it's received, and you got to figure out the medium in which to get it to them, and certainly the message has been received. Archambault with the tackle of David Wilson. As you see, Philip Butterfield has come in here at quarterback. He is headed to Arkansas State. He's from Lake Hamilton, Arkansas. See the number, 6'2", 210 pounds. Real leader on this team. Arkansas 6A Player of the Year.
And actually was elected to the World Council for American football. I guess everyone has representatives, and he's one of those guys that's really mixed well with all the teams and countries, and he's been elected to the big council.
Threw for nearly 7,000 yards in high school. Won't get the chance to throw it here. Good pressure by Team Canada as they sent a lot of folks. Jean-Samuel Blanc was one of them that got there. Abstaman was the other.
Good job by Canada. Taking away the passing lanes and keeping the pressure right in the face of Philip Butterfield.
Mehdi Abdesmad coming off that edge and able to apply the pressure. Yeah, they saw that they had a new quarterback in there, got after him. A loss of 12. It's 3rd down and 22. Beg your pardon, loss of 17, 3rd down and 22. Set up the screen. Hall has it, but shortly thereafter, Abdesmad had Hall. He and Jake Thomas up front. See big number 75, 6'2", 250 pounds.
Boy, was that played well from inside out by Team Canada. Big Jake Thomas defeats his guy at the line of scrimmage and also involved on the play. Big number 45, Mehdi Abdesmad, who has drawn a lot of attention down here in the United States about his potential as a football player. Just 17 years old.
These players 19 and under. See Loftus comes in to punt it away. Borosa is back deep. There's a pressure, gets it away. Room to return it, but not much. Stottlemyre was the first man that got there. He had help. Jordan Poyer right there for Team USA. Canada's got the football back, trailing by 12. Back here at Canada, Ohio, USA on top 15-3 as we go to Samantha Steele.
Guys, you'll remember yesterday when we talked to Chuck Kyle, one of the things he was stressing to his players was the importance of getting to know players on the other teams and really developing lifelong relationships. Well, when they were over at Walsh University, they spent a lot of time together. We talked about this before in the Players Lounge, playing video games, playing ping pong with other teams. I was just over there with Team New Zealand. They're making friends with the Mexican kids. Guys, they're going to stay in touch forever. This could be future business relationships, and the best way to do it, they also use
Facebook, between the Facebook, the text messages, and everything they got going on.
Twitter,
man.
you name it, it's out there now. It allows you to stay in touch a lot easier. And what a great job Walsh University did serving as a mini Olympic village.
So Brandon Bridge comes in. He's the new quarterback here for Team Canada and immediately throws a strike as Alex Anthony pulls it in. And they're going to move the chains here, I believe. Should be enough for just short by first down by about a yard. There you see Brandon Bridge. He's thought of much more as a running type quarterback, and as soon as we say that, he comes in and throws a strike. 2 out of 5 in his 5 pass attempts against Japan.
And if he can do that and is accurate throwing the football, that will just help open up the running lanes for his number 1 strength, which are his legs.
Yep, absolutely. This team came together in May for tryouts when they came together in Montreal. Brandon Bridge came to the team very late. They simplified the package, if for no other reason. He hasn't had as much time to really learn the playbook. But when you can do the athletic things that he's able to do, they'll make the exceptions. Robert Bell was there to make that tackle. Talk about how great of an athlete he is. Good enough arm, and she is rushing yards, averaging 7.5 yards per carry here in Canton, Ohio.
He's the type of young man that on a 3rd and long, you can cover everyone downfield, and then he'll use his legs and pick up the necessary yards for a first down, which can be demoralizing for a defense.
Sharp giving the pressure, throws it, it's complete, but it was covered well, and it'll be a 3rd down coming up. Anthony made the catch. Shamarco Thomas. He's headed for Syracuse by way of Ocean Lakes, Virginia.
Nicely done by holding his poise in the pocket was Brandon Bridge. On a tough snap, hauled it in, was able to complete the pass. Now 3rd and about 5. If you're Steve Speck, the defense coordinator for Team USA, here's where you're thinking about, if you're using a pressure package, that you use one of your guys to spy on Bridge to try and take away the quarterback draw, the quarterback run game. Do you use Storm Klein, number 32, in the middle? Do you use one of your safeties? Let's see what he decides to dial up.
Well, they're going to call timeout and have to take a little more time to make sure they dial up the right play. It's 3rd down and 5 coming up. And Team USA wants to make sure that everything is right on this big play. So we'll take a break. 6:54 to go, first half. Team USA leads 15-3. Big 3rd down coming up, 3rd down and 5. 39-yard line, the line to make for Team Canada. Roll the pocket for Bridge. Penalty marker is down, and the ball is incomplete. Well, through the hands, and that was a gallant effort as Julian Bailey just could not hold on. Good pass, and it was right there. And there's a holding penalty, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway, so they'll back it up, and it'll be a 3rd down and 14 coming up.
That very nearly turned into a big play for Canada as it went through the hands.
They will decline the penalty, so 4th down coming up.
Yeah, right through the hands of Philip Thomas, I'm sorry, Kevin, number 31, and almost ended up in the hands of Team Canada's receiver.
You know, and that was the interesting thing. We've talked about Brandon Bridge, and all they talked about was
run. Well, he's got a nice arm on him.
And he threw it right to where it needed to be. Hajrullahu will come in here to punt. Laura got a block and brought down at the 35-yard line. Frank Marvell was there to make that tackle on the coverage. The penalty marker is down after an 11-yard return. The marker is back at the original line of scrimmage. They'll make him kick it again. after an 11-yard return. Now this is how the USA got on the board. After an interception, first play from scrimmage, going up top, and that's a good thing. Find the open man, and just like that, Jamal Davis makes it 7-0. They step out of bounds, makes it 6-0. Step out of bounds, and it's 8-0. And then Petty running the option with David Wilson. Takes it the distance, 33 yards, and that is where we stand right now. Team USA on top, 15-3.
Team USA decides to take the football, and what they got on the return rather than have them kick it again, as opposed to, hey, maybe you gain yardage, but you also might fumble, have a penalty against your defense, take the football, good field position.
You saw that right there. Team Canada has run more than twice as many plays as Team USA. Team USA's run 10 plays, 5 of which have gone for negative yardage. They're only averaging less than 4 yards per play. Throws this one in the flat, and that one is incomplete. Trying to find there. Wilson there was open for a moment. The play never really got materialized. This is, as far as this game is concerned, what we've seen so far, the difference and the reason that Canada's really staying in this game is their defense has been very stingy.
And they got settled down, and I go back again to Glenn Constantine taking the safety, and everybody wondering what is he doing, and he decided, hey, I need to get some field position, give my defense a chance, and they rewarded him on the very next series and helped the defense get settled down and get their heads back into it. Look at that, everyone's standing, little radar defense.
This is complete. Laura has it, first down to the 44-yard line. Eric Laura from Miami going to Eastern Illinois. Talk about a guy living the family dream, or living the American dream.
Take a look at what Team Canada does. Look at all the guys standing up. No one with their hand in the ground. A little radar defense trying to confuse blocking schemes for Team USA, but the big guys picked it up front, and Butterfield with a strike to Laura downfield.
Run the option again. Wilson got a block, scoots through, has 15, has a 17-yard gain, and guys up front, Zach Cutcomp, number 23, threw a great block, and Wilson was able to cut back off of it.
Now watch how Wilson also helps set up. Cutcomp 23 inside makes the block. But in the corner, see the cut back inside? That allowed Cutcomp to get the angle on the defender and help him out with the block outside. Well done by Wilson. There's that little dip, and then he cuts it up inside.
And it just goes to show right there, Cutcomp totally whiffed on the block, but all you have to do is get in the way.
Get in the way, and the move he made helped set up the running lane.
Especially for a back like Wilson. Takes it ahead. Wilson to the 5-yard line. Jordan Duncan finally able to knock him down, but Team USA knocking on the door, leading 15-3.
And this is what big fellas like. They like running the inside zone play, especially with a back like David Wilson, who makes them look good. Look at the vision. He finds all the openings. They always talk about, obviously, you're running with your feet and your legs, right? You also run with your eyes. You have to know where to go, where are the openings, where are the gaps. And David Wilson finds them all and turns what should be a 5-yard gain into a bigger one downfield.
Trying to take it wide. Cuts through. See if they mark him down. They don't. Touchdown, USA. David Wilson's second touchdown run of the day. So they'll bring it back as there was a penalty marker back at the 10-yard line.
Got a hold against Team USA back behind the football.
They'll move it back. Sweet. Yeah, move it all the way back to the 17-yard line. Well, Butterfield stays in at quarterback.
Despite the hold, I like what Team USA's offensive line has done on this drive. The big guys now getting a chance to fire out and hit people.
Straight drop, looking to throw out of the backfield. Cutcomp has it at the 10 and drug down from behind at the 8-yard line. Archambault was there to make that tackle. But a good productive play after a tough holding penalty. Clock moves under 4.5 minutes to play here in the first act. See Zach Cutcomp and what he's been able to do. 4 catches, right at 30 yards. Cutcomp, he's from Des Moines, Iowa. He will be headed to northern Iowa. We have Panther up there.
Knows this offense better than anyone on Team USA. You know why? His high school coach is the offensive coordinator, Gary Swenson.
Got a leg up. 4A state championship, Gary Swenson won, along with Cutcomp. Played at West Des Moines High School. And that went incomplete. Big collision in the end zone. There were a lot more red jerseys than there were white jerseys. It was intended for Kevin Cummings.
Nice coverage by Thomas Gerard, number 2. Breaking on the football on the slant route, broke for the upfield shoulder of the receiver, and arrived just as the ball got there.
Here we go, 3rd down and 9 now coming up. Gerard, only 170 pounds, 5'11", and again, most of these Canadian players, just about all for that matter, they come from Quebec. 6 from Ontario, 4 from Alberta, 2 from New Brunswick, and 3 from British Columbia. 3rd down goal, throw into the end zone. Did he catch it? No, incomplete. He's going to plead his case, but Eric Laura out of bounds, knocked out of bounds, and you know that ball had to seem like it took a week to come down.
Remember, there's no force-out rule in college football, which are the rules they're playing under. You have to come down in bounds in order for it to be completed as a catch. And because he was able to knock him out and Laura's not able to get down with the catch, incomplete pass.
Well, he tried
valiantly, but a well done by DeBeeson, number 33, knocking him out of bounds and forcing a field goal attempt.
Block. You got to get on it. And they do.
If there's been one place Team USA has struggled, it has been in extra points and field goals. Jordan Lynch, the first time ever as a holder, and it's the first time that Kevin Loftus has kicked without a block, a tee, since high school. So he's just kicking off the ground and just adjusting.
Well, Loftus has missed an extra point, and that one never had a chance. Looked like he kicked it right into the back of the line. College sports fans, become a fan of Fox College Sports on Facebook. Get instant access to all the latest updates, photos, and videos from all of our exclusive college sports coverage. That is Facebook.com. And that's how these kids will stay in touch for the most part. When they leave here, friends to last a lifetime. This one's complete. Set up the screen, and that's how you really attack a very aggressive defense. Let them come after you a little bit, and Guillaume Barassa, who caught it, takes it ahead, and he gains 5 yards.
And we may get alternating quarterbacks here because Jeremy Doyen-Rock started this series, and now here comes Brandon Bridge bringing the play in with him. But I was a little surprised that it took a little more than 3 minutes in the first quarter before we saw our first real screen from Team Canada trying to slow down the rush of Team USA.
You want to run if you're the offense. You want to run a lot of those plays early because when the motor's running for that defense, that's when you want to take advantage of its aggressiveness. Inside they go. Guillaume Barassa, hard-nosed runner. At 81 yards rushing against the Japanese team. Again, Team Canada had to come from behind, scored very late in that game. Got the ball back with 90 seconds left after Japan had taken the lead. They come back and they win it by 3.
They really had to battle in that game. Twice Team Canada held 2 touchdown advantages in the game before Team Japan came back and really pressed them.
Yuichiro Araki, the quarterback for Team Japan, we saw him yesterday, and he was very impressive. A lot of fun to watch.
He had a terrific tournament. He's a guy that opened up a lot of eyes amongst the spectators here.
Japan walks away with the bronze medal. This one is for the gold. The timeout is called by Team Canada. Team Canada, the number 2 seed. Number 1 seed, I beg your pardon. Team USA, the number 2 seed. So the Canadians want to talk this over. And the U.S. team you know, it feels like in this game that they should be leading by more than what they are. Canada can come down and score right here, and all of a sudden you got a whole new ball game. And that looked a lot like the game we had yesterday when Japan got off to the early big lead. Mexico was able to come back and make a game of it, got to within a couple of scores late. There you see the folks, and, you know, that young man right there, Junpei Yoshimoto, with the broken left arm. That was really the only downer of the day.
Boy, was he fun to watch.
Yes.
We had 3 touchdowns last night.
Yes, he did.
Had 2 touchdowns against Canada.
Has he got a Notre Dame cap on? I believe he does.
They might want to talk to him about coming and doing a few special plays for them. He was fun to watch. Very fearless, elusive, lots of speed, and just tremendous hands.
5'7", 140 pounds.
Hello?
Bridge flushed out of the pocket. Couldn't quite turn the corner, but still made a productive play out of it. But he's going to be short of the first down. So 4th down coming up here for Team Canada, and they will have to punt the football away.
That was a nice job by Corey Lillard, number 18, the safety man, forcing Bridge out of bounds over the sideline and not permitting him to get to the first down marker. He will be going to Virginia this fall.
Al Groh's got a few representatives here.
Big offensive lineman Ode Abushi, following in the footsteps of what's become an offensive line factory at Virginia. You see Glenn Constantine, the head coach of Team Canada.
Obushi ranked as the number 23 offensive lineman in the country by Rivals.com.
He hasn't liked what's come out of Virginia lately. DeBrickashaw Ferguson, Eugene Monroe, Brandon Albert, all first-round picks in the NFL.
Here's Eric Laura with room to run. Breaks it outside, down the sideline. Marker is down, so a flag back down at the 44 will more than likely wipe out a very nifty return by Eric Laura. Illegal use of hands penalty will back it up. A lot more real estate now in front of this Team USA. Yesterday, France knocking off New Zealand in the 7th place game. 5th place goes to Germany. They win over Sweden. Defense really able to shut Sweden down, and Sweden's defense was good as well. But the game that we had here on Fox College Sports, bronze medal game, Japan, a 42-27 win over Team Mexico.
See if Team USA goes 2-minute offense here with 1:32 to go in the half and try and get something on the board before the buzzer.
Butterfield stays in at quarterback, throws this one, and it's caught. May not need the 2-minute offense. And down to the 24-yard line. So, again, a situation where you throw it up, let the receiver, Aaron Dobson, come back and get it, and he takes it ahead. Young man from South Charleston, West Virginia. He's headed for Marshall.
Most people teach, and this is a nice throw by Butterfield to Dobson. Most people teach on a deep ball, never overthrow the deep ball. They want it almost to become jump balls at times because they feel that the receivers can make the adjustment on the football better than the defender because the receiver is looking back and seeing the ball the whole way while the defender's often running blind. So they'd much rather have you throw it short, have the receiver come back and get it, and we just saw an example of that. Aaron Dobson, runner-up for Mr. Football in the state of West Virginia, and was Mr. Basketball in the state of West Virginia. So guess what? He used both of those skills on that play.
Who does that sound like?
Sounds a lot like Randy Moss,
yeah,
doesn't
absolutely.
it?
He was Mr. Basketball in the state of West Virginia. Player of the year in football as well.
High school teammate Jason Williams trying to be a pretty decent NBA basketball
player.
Yeah,
they played on the same team.
High school team.
And Jason Williams wasn't Mr. Basketball in West Virginia. There you see Jordan Duncan being helped off the field.
Hope he's going to be okay and will have a chance to get back into the game. Good thing for Team USA was a first down, stopped the clock, had to reset the chains, and then, of course, after the injury timeout, now the clock starts again, but they were able to save a lot of time.
Throws this one quickly, and it's caught. Jamal Davis. They're going to have to call timeout. He couldn't get out of bounds. See what they do here is under 70 seconds remaining, so they will call a timeout. You know, back to Dobson. The 29 yards per reception in high school as he led his South Charleston, West Virginia team to that 3A state championship. and a 14-0 record, but 29 yards per reception. That is the definition of a big play receiver.
And with him, it didn't mean that you're just throwing long passes and deep crosses and things of that nature. I'll guarantee they throw inside screens. And with his speed and size, he would break that for big yardage, thus a 29-yard average per catch.
17 touchdown catches as well there in his senior year. Again, headed to be in the thundering herd. They won't have to go far. That's a great get for them.
It is. Now obviously this is key for Team USA, trying to get something on the board before the half. But if you're Team Canada, you're thinking to yourselves, we've got to keep them out of the end zone and not give them a touchdown and momentum going into the break.
Well, you want to know what we're up to? Follow Fox College Sports on Twitter and get the latest updates on all FCS programming. 66 seconds remaining. And a 2nd and 4. Time is of the essence. Butterfield, straight drop to throw. Wilson hit immediately. Tried to spin off the tackle, but he will go down. That is not an easy thing to do, bring him down like that, as Baldock was there to make that tackle. Jean-Philippe Baldock.
And that should have been an incompletion. Baldock saw the play, should have come up and splattered him there. But David Wilson, so strong, absorbs the hit, spins away, hangs on to the football and gets something out of nothing.
3rd down here, and now a 4th down is coming up. And again, you're looking at a 37-yard attempt. Kevin Cummings was the intended receiver.
Not a guarantee that they kick it, though, with the struggles they've had kicking the football.
I think, if anything, I would think the odds are that they're going to go for it here. And they are.
Already up 15-3. They feel good about how their defense is playing. I think they'd rather take the opportunity to try and get something big before the half. And if not, they'll be satisfied with a 15-3 lead.
Get your 1st down here. And
look out. Canada may blitz here and play man coverage in the secondary.
Got a lot of folks coming. It's complete. Tevin Reese, and now I believe forward progress is going to give Tevin Reese the 1st down to the 15-yard line. So they'll move the chains and stop the clock with 29 seconds remaining. And Team USA is going to have to get up on the football and go ahead and get this thing snapped.
Remember, they have 1 timeout left, too.
And I think they're going to take it right here. They are. And this is where I think, where you don't get a chance to practice together that much. When you start getting into timing situations, that's where it's difficult. If you were practicing with that same team all year long, you know that as soon as that ball was set, you'd be either one of two things: up ready to snap it and spike the football, or at least run your play and have a couple of plays called out of the huddle. A little bit more difficult. And keep in mind, and that gentleman right there, Chuck Kyle, was very quick to tell us yesterday, this is not an all-star team. This is a junior national team, and there's a big difference in that. In years past, again, they would get together, they'd take a county maybe in South Florida or something like that, and they would take the kids together, get the kids together from basically one area, put them together, call it a national team. And this has kids from all over the country, from Ohio, from California, West Virginia, Texas. You name it, they're here. Arkansas, where Philip Butterfield, the quarterback, they have been passing it around, spreading the wealth with those 7 different receivers making catches today.
If Canada's going to blitz, the coverage has to be a little bit tighter in the secondary.
Throwing this one, it's caught, hit immediately, and staying inbounds, and now you got to get up on the football. 20 seconds remaining.
What Canada's doing is their defensive backs are playing way off, but they're not retreating. They're trying to play forward, but if the ball's out of the hands quickly from the quarterback, receiver has a great chance of catching it in front of them.
Well, Cut Comp caught it, got hit immediately. They stopped the clock with 12 seconds left.
Butterfield gets it out of his hands, and right there, nice catch, because the defender, Baldock, is right on the spot. And Cut Comp able to possess the ball on the catch. Now here's where, on the sideline, they have told Philip Butterfield, no timeouts left, 12 seconds. You obviously cannot take a sack here. So for us to try and run one play before we decide whether we kick a field goal or not, you've got to run this play into the end zone.
Key words, into the end zone. And don't take a sack. Throws it into the end zone, and it's knocked away. Good defensive play.
Team USA wanted pass interference over the top from number 5, Christopher Robertson, but the officials determined it as both guys going for the football, and he was playing through the receiver to the ball.
I think they got it right.
I think they got it right too. Someone go up and try and get the football. Hey. Both of them did. The defender has rights to the football also.
And Robertson's 5'8", 170. Aaron Dobson 6'3".
Didn't box out on that one.
Did not. And this one is good. So Mike Loftus kicks it through with 3 seconds remaining. And that play had all the looks of a disastrous play. It almost looked as though Loftus kind of jumped forward before the ball was even snapped. So Butterfield leading to a scoring drive.
But overall, if you're Team Canada,
you're
not
right
discouraged at all.
Where do we sign up?
You'll take that. Only giving up 3 after the first play of the drive was the big pass from Butterfield to Aaron Dobson and set Team USA up in business and on Canada's side of the field. So they're very, they not happy about giving up 3, but it sure looked like they were about to give up 6.
But really, you can make the argument they've only given up 16 in this game. They've given away 2 on the safety,
which is one day I don't think they have any regrets about in terms of how it helped change field position.
This coaching staff from Team Canada, they all coach on the collegiate level in Canada. Lynn Constantine at Laval University led Laval to the Vanier Cup in 03, 04, 06, and 08. Basically the
national championship of collegiate football.
And they do, again, play Canadian football there. They play by the Canadian rules. 20-yard deep end zones. More importantly, though, 3 downs.
His team's lost 1 regular season game since 2004.
Wow. That's stout. You don't do that by accident. You don't do it just because you got great players. You got some great coaching as well. That's the last play of the first half. So Team USA coming in here as the number 2 seed, but leading 18-3 here at halftime as they attend to Alex Anthony. They head off the field, but first a visit with Samantha Steele.
Coach, obviously you've had limited time to prepare for this game, but are you happy with your QB rotation right now?
Well, this is what we've done for all the games, and what we thought we'd do is just go, what we've been doing for 2 quarters, and we'll make the decision when we go inside and see what offense we want to go with.
Do you think your 3-3-5 defense is really confusing them right now?
Well, the coverages have been good. I wish we could get more pressure. I mean, here and there we're getting pressure. Usually we get more, so we got to work on that.
What's it going to take to pull it out, Coach?
Well, we got to stay error-free, and not to sound conservative, because we're still going to play our offense and defense and so on. But that field goal was good because that's 3 scores. You add it up, they got to score 3 times, and that helped. I always like to think that if you get 3 scores up, you're controlling the football game.
All right, thanks, Coach. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, Samantha, thank you very much. Coach is doing that math. He's also an English teacher. Multitasking there, 18-3. His team leading at halftime. We'll take a break. More to come. It's the IFAF 2009 Junior World Championships from Canton.
Welcome back to halftime, where the U.S. leads Canada 18-3. I am joined by a very special guest, the Executive Director of USA Football, Scott Hallenbeck. Thanks for taking the time. This is a pretty big event. Tell me what it takes to get this thing going.
Well, it's the first time ever, and we're, first of all, dealing with a great audience in Ohio football fans. And it's taken about a year and a half to put it all together, like any major event. But with 8 international teams here and a football fan that was much more of a wait-and-see attitude, we put a lot of marketing and efforts into it. But Saturday night, we had over 10,000 people coming out to this event. That's when they really got a taste of what this is all about. An Olympic-style event, Team USA against many other countries, and they've really embraced it. So it was really wonderful to see that. We probably have somewhere in the neighborhood of 15,000 out for the championship gold medal game. It's just exciting. They've really embraced this. It's wonderful.
Seems to make sense because we're right next to the Hall of Fame, but why Canton?
Well, I mean, many say this is the crib of the game with the Pro Football Hall of Fame here. And again, I mean, there's many great football states, obviously, in the U.S., Texas, Florida, etc. But we just felt like Ohio was the right place to be. And we have good friends here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. They wanted this here, so they actually lobbied to get it here. And they've I think, proven it with the type of fan support and the community support that's come out. And they have over 5,000 volunteers out here dedicating themselves on a 4th of July Independence Day weekend. I mean, it's pretty special.
You mentioned something about the Olympics. Is that the ultimate goal here, to get this to be an Olympic sport?
Yes, absolutely. So the International Federation of American Football has some 50 countries that are participating. And ultimately our goal, probably a 10 to 15-year plan, is to be on the Olympic calendar. Absolutely.
What's it going to take? What specific things do you have to do?
So we probably need about another 30 or 40 countries to participate at a fairly high level. And then you have to have women playing the sport as well, which is starting to happen. You also have to have multiple disciplines, so it's tackle as well as flag. And ultimately, you have to have a feeder system: youth, juniors, and seniors. Seniors in international football is 20 and above, juniors is 19 and under, and then youth are 15 and under. And there are probably about 15 countries right now that have all 3 of those levels, and we're working to develop the rest over the next 10 years.
Now, you mentioned women playing. How are we going to get that going? Do you have to start at the youth level with little girls? I don't know if parents are going to be excited about that.
Well, actually, believe it or not, like in Florida, for example, it's becoming a sport that they have at the high school level. So it's starting in flag, and again, it will take some time, but women actually want to play. There's a partner of USA Football called the International Women's Football League. These would be seniors or adults that are playing the sport. And in fact, in 2010, in Sweden, we'll actually have the first ever Women's World Championship. Probably about 6 teams around the world will participate. Again, it'll take some time, but there is interest in it.
Maybe we can go out and cover that one. Thank you so much for your time. This is a real impressive event. We'll be back with more halftime right after this.
One of these yesterday.
18-3, U.S. on top of Canada here at halftime as we head back down onto the field to Samantha Steele.
Coach, it seems like your skilled players are keeping up with them right now. Is it just a matter of execution?
Yeah, I think so. We had a couple of busts on defense. We were lying wrong a couple of times, and it cost us big. So we need to match their speed and intensity and make sure that we make some plays on offense and sustain our drives and keep on doing a good work on defense and no mental breakdowns.
Coach, you're within reach. What'd you tell your guys in there?
Well, I told them that we hung in there, first half, and we dug ourselves a little hole. Now we've got to make plays, and we got to step up.
All right, thanks, Coach. Best of luck. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks very much, Samantha. Yeah, Coach Constantine's team, I think they have to feel somewhat fortunate. They're down 18-3 right now, and well, like they said going off the field before, it's 3 scores, granted, but the Canadian team has really hung in here. But talk about Team USA and how they've scored so far in this game. Didn't take them long to get on the board at all.
Yeah, after the interception by Storm Klein on defense set them up. Bryce Petty to Jamal Davis, and then Canada had bad field position on their next possession, took a safety to try and change field position, and then later on, after the safety, the U.S. got the ball back again and went up with another touchdown. Bryce Petty on the option to David Wilson.
The reason Canada is in this game right now is their defense. They have come to play and have been able to slow Team USA down, particularly in the second quarter. Talk about a game of adjustments. A lot of credit to that Canadian coaching staff because they have made some adjustments.
And it's not just the adjustments that they've made strategically, it's that the young men have hung in there with their poise, because Team USA has just overwhelmed the teams that they've played so far. 24-0 at the end of the first quarter, 27-0 at the end of the first quarter in the first 2 games. At this game, Canada fought and hung in there, and when they look up and they see 18-3, they realize 1 touchdown, 18-10, second touchdown, 2-point conversion, they're right back in it. The battling and the poise, I've been impressed with what Canada's done in those ways.
All right, second half right around the corner. We'll be back to Canton, Ohio on Fox College Sports in a moment. Back here in Canton, Ohio, 18-3, the 2 seed U.S. team going against Canada. The International Federation of American Football's Junior World Championship here in Canton, Ohio. This is the gold medal game with Charles Davis, Kevin Eschenfelder upstairs, Samantha Steele down on the field on a gorgeous afternoon here in Canton, Ohio. Zach Cutcomb on the return, and we are underway here in the second half. Look at the numbers from this first half of play. Halftime stats courtesy of Walsh University, celebrating 50 years as a Catholic university of distinction. And, the number of plays run so far in this game, Canada with a lot more plays run, but, time of possession really hasn't been a factor for U.S. They scored early on, and after that, Canada really kind of
buttoned down defensively.
I think that, when you look at the halftime stats, nothing really jumps out at you. But the United States, with the quick strike ability after scoring after the turnover, and then with the option play, put them up big and put Canada back on their heels.
That is not the way you want to start the second half. Bryce Petty will call a timeout before they ever run a play here in this second half. He looked around, and I'm not sure if it was a personnel issue, but
it appeared to me that what he saw on defense did not match up with either his play call or with what he wanted to check to. And that's why he made the timeout call and went over and talked with Gary Swenson, the offensive coordinator.
Well, Bryce Petty, young man from the Dallas area, Midlothian, Texas, he'll head to Baylor. Robert Griffin, the quarterback at Baylor right now, and an outstanding quarterback he is. So Petty more than likely will enroll.
He's got a gray shirt.
Yeah, so he'll enroll in the spring
in January.
Of 2010.
Yep. Remember, Baylor has scholarship number issues too. So he wouldn't be eligible to get a scholarship until the January of the next year. So he'll be able to go through spring and a fall before ever actually playing for Baylor.
Ranked as the number 2 quarterback in the state of Texas by Rivals.com. Petty throws this one. It's complete. Pulled it right off the shoulder blade. Now moving ahead is Zach Cutcomp. And Cutcomp headed to Northern Iowa from Western High School in Des Moines. 17-yard gain. And I guess it was worth the timeout. Some things are worth waiting for. You come right back out of the timeout, find the open spaces.
I think that if we talk about halftime adjustments, I think if there's one that the United States is going to make, and it's really not much of an adjustment, I really think they will attack the flanks a bit more of Canada in this half than maybe they did in the first half. I think they want to get them out of the box because they always want to keep 7 or 8 in the box and trying to tackle them that way.
7 in the box on this play, but they run it right up the middle, and David Wilson just had nowhere to go. Guys up front, led by Jake Thomas. Absmad was there as well.
I know the coaches want to make sure that David Wilson touches the ball a lot, number 22 for Team USA. They may have to have him touch it more in space than inside as much, because that's the strength of Canada's defense. Jake Thomas helping to stack things up on the last play.
Thomas 250, Abdesmad goes at 240. Throws this one though, and it's complete. Cutcomp makes the first man miss, the second man miss, and has a gain of 17 yards. Takes it down to the 25-yard line.
One-on-one tackles in space. Maybe the toughest thing to do in football, to get a guy on the ground when it's just you and him and a lot of grass around you.
Well,
one miss,
yep.
2 misses, and Cutcomp's off to the sideline.
Archambault was finally able to push him out of bounds, but not before good field position for Team USA there at the 26-yard line of Canada. Petty spins it ahead down to the 20, a gain of 6 yards. David Menard there to make that tackle for Canada. Canada comes in here. They're the number 1 seed. Team USA the number 2 seed.
Starting to see a little bit of attrition starting to happen now with Canada's defense. As big as they are up front, Team USA is a little bit bigger, and I'm starting to wonder about the pounding the little defensive, the smaller defensive backs are taking, because it seems about every other play now, a guy comes up, a little gimpy from Team Canada.
That's Jean-Philippe Baldock.
And while it hasn't been that warm here during the week, this is the warmest day. It's all of a sudden an 80-degree day, which is still pretty temperate here. Feels pretty warm considering what they've played in all week, because most of the games these guys have played have been at night or in the evening. So the heat has not even been close to a factor. But today, this probably feels like 90 degrees to them because they haven't had it since they've been here.
And this pro turf, or these turf fields that have the chewed-up rubber, the field turf, they do have, remember, they have that, the base of them are a very dark color. And it obviously takes up a lot of heat, absorbs a lot of heat. It reflects a lot of heat, I should say.
Still better than that old stuff we used to play on.
You got that right. Oof. Rug burns for days. Throwing this one, and it's complete. Cutcomp again. Zach Cutcomb should have the first down as he gets it down to the 15-yard line. Archambault again with the tackle.
It's almost as if Team USA can't really believe that Canada's not adjusting to what they're doing right now. And what I mean by that is the integrity of the box. In the 4-3, with Canada trying to stay within the confines of the box and not let the running game take over for Team USA, it really becomes almost pitch and catch if you throw it to the flanks, because no one's really adjusting out to the receivers that far, and it's an easy throw for Bryce Petty.
Well, they'll keep taking it as long as Canada keeps wanting to give it to them. They'll do it again here. Eric Laura, and Laura, while it's a short pass play, it's still a gain of 4 yards. If you ask any coach, they'll tell you, any offensive coordinator for the most part, they'll take 2nd down and 6 anytime.
Yeah, that keeps you what they call on schedule, or even with the chain, right, depending on what terminology you want to use. And here's what you're also looking for. A missed tackle turns into a bigger gain in a one-on-one situation. That was a nice job of tackling by Thomas Gerard, number 2 for Canada. And now they have the goal line in the end zone behind them. They should be able to tighten up their coverage more in the secondary.
Field shrinks. Still a lot of red jerseys up on that line of scrimmage on their way. Again, taking the short route. It's going to be short of a first down, but close, as Noel Grigsby with his first catch of the day. Grigsby out of Crenshaw High School in Los Angeles. He's headed for San Jose State. 3-sport athlete, point guard on that Crenshaw High School basketball team. We all know all too well that they've turned out just a couple of basketball players over the years.
Per year?
Yeah, exactly.
Minimum. Warren Craney, the defensive coordinator for Team Canada, showing a lot of looks now on defense. We're seeing what I call the radar defense for every now and again, where you have everyone stacked at the line of scrimmage, no one with their hand in the ground, trying to confuse the blocking scheme of Team USA.
Up the middle they go. Here's Bell. And Bell will go down. Really funny story Bell told yesterday. That's going to be a 4th down coming up. David Wilson wasn't too sure whenever Robert Bell went to the, as he said, to the dark side. Came and put on the offensive jersey.
Yeah, we're playing linebacker to fullback.
You sure you're going to help me out back there? That's, because, at the end of the day, you're a defensive player at heart. You're going to block those guys?
You might miss one and let the defense have one on me?
I said, no, I got you, man. We're on the same side. All right, so it's a field goal attempt, a good hold for Team Canada on that 3rd down. Tried the surprise play. I was surprised they handed it to Bell. And a low liner, and he missed it.
Another good job by Canada staving off Team USA's offense, tightening up as things got close down by the goal line.
7:10 to play. 3rd quarter. Team USA swings and misses again. 18-3, Team USA on top as they lead it. And again, we talked about this right off the beginning. And Team Canada, nice hold there. And once again, they keep it to a 16-point game, or a 15-point game, I beg your pardon. But one of the things that I'm sure has been the rage as far as all of these players in Team USA is concerned is the chance, and there's a big article about it in the paper, is just who's best and where the best football players come from. Some people think Ohio, some Florida, some California, and just a couple think Texas. Here on 1st down and 10. Rock throws, and it's complete out to the 33-yard line. And Samantha Steele, what do you think?
Guys, I hate to create some dissension up in the booth, but I heard you talking about Crenshaw, and I'm going to have to go with California. I mean, come on, Southern California, a lot of these kids are ending up at SC. You can't even debate that, but that's just my opinion.
Well, it's your opinion, and you said we can't debate it, so let's move on.
Let's move on.
Okay,
I mean, since it's done like that, we'll let everybody else Twitter in and offer their opinions for you, Samantha.
All right,
I think we
good.
all know the regions, you're impressed with what you see the most. And so that should tell you exactly, since I'm from Texas and you hail Florida right now,
Kevin,
so there you go.
Kevin, I was just reading the Junction Boys this summer.
Yep.
And I mean, it's a great story, don't get me wrong. I also read about the Masonic Home, Jim Dent's second book.
That is one of the greatest books I've ever read
Great
in my life.
book.
Yeah, talk about the orphans.
But that just sounds like boring football to me. I'm not a smash mouth football kind of girl.
Don't forget, the Junction Boys were 1950.
Yeah, and there was also Bear Bryant.
And don't forget the orphans were 1940.
1930. Yeah, that was a depression.
Hey, that's what they write about. I'm just using what they give me.
We'll move on and watch Canada and USA work it out.
They go down here. But I will tell you this, if you ever get a chance, I think that the 12 Mighty Orphans by Jim Dent could very well should be mandatory reading for every high school athlete there is. It's a great story. It's one of the most amazing stories you'll ever see, and I'll just leave it at that. You can build on that.
You read that book and watch how those kids went on and what they did with their lives, and not just in football. It was absolutely tremendous. But here's Canada now. I think they're doing a nice job here, starting to move the ball on offense.
He wants a little offense to get going. He's got a little too much time on his hands.
Well, Canada's trying to provide that now.
Well, back to pass again. Jeremy Rock throws it, and it's incomplete. As Doyon Rock put it where it needed to be, but just couldn't hold on. And sometimes while Barossa dropped it, it's not necessarily his fault. So now you got a 4th down coming up, and short drive, but it comes to an end.
Well, the ball was thrown inside on a ball that needs to be thrown outside. And Corey Lillard was coming from inside out, and when it arrived almost at the same time the ball got there, so it would have been a very tough catch for Barossa.
Hajrullahu will be punting it away. Laram has been a busy man today. They're number 14. So is he. Eric Laura back deep. Takes a candy hop, and Laura will pick it up. And a marker down there to get a horse collar at the end of this play. So you're going to add 15 to that. So the ball's going to come right back out. It's going to come into Canadian territory at the 49-yard line.
They got another
player down.
Team Canada needing attention.
Called it a moment ago, a 39-yard punt, but a short return, but it's going to be they're going to waive the penalty off. How about that?
Okay. Remember, this is the 3rd game in 8 days for both of these squads.
Absolutely. So maybe fatigue setting in a little bit. 5:41 to go to the 3rd quarter. U.S. has the football, up by 15. All right, 18-3, 5:41 to go. We're here in the 3rd quarter. 19 and under Junior World Championships, the International Federation of American Football. Team USA taking on Team Canada. It's Brian Fields on the carry, and Fields, what looked like was going to be a 3-yard loss, turns into a 9-yard gain.
Wow. I think Western Michigan's going to be happy to get that young man.
Agree.
Working into Bill Cubitt's offense for the Broncos.
Dubuisson finally made that tackle.
Good job with patience, reading the block. Nice block on the corner by Dobson, 84, and inside Placencia, number 88, the tight end. And that was the gap he eventually ran through. Right there's the cut. See, Dobson up top had been occupying the defender who ended up making the tackle.
Fields, a Delaware High School Player of the Year, will get the football again. He is ripped down right there at the line of scrimmage. There wasn't a whole lot. Simone Rahal was there to make that tackle.
Really nice play. Yep. Just defeated the offensive lineman at the point of attack. Went past him, met the ball carrier. Well done. Rahal was a guy that Team USA wanted to pay particular attention to in the pass game. Created a little havoc against Japan with his pass rush that time, showing that he could be stout against the run, too.
That's going to bring up a 3rd down and call it 2 to go for the 1st down. Big 74 did his part. He'll get off the field.
Pitch and catch in space. That's what's worked well.
See what they do here. They do throw it, and it's complete for the 1st down as Eric Laura has the 1st down by about 1.5 yards. Didn't get much, but they didn't need much. And so they'll move the chains. Team USA scored early. They got the field goal late in the 1st half, but for the most part, the offense, it's been a bend but not break type defense for Team Canada. USA's moved the football. They just haven't been able to put it in the end zone.
Had 2 missed field goal attempts now?
Had 1 blocked and missed 1, yep. Had a missed extra point as well.
Actually, might even be 3 now.
Yeah.
It's 3 if I go back and do the proper math.
Hall makes the catch, and he hauls it in, and this is, you just take a couple of steps downfield, they turn around, hit the open man. Christopher Robertson was there to make that tackle, but James Hall, young man from Las Cruces, New Mexico, headed to New Mexico State, one of the best players in that state. 2,000 yards, 29 touchdowns on the season. Won a state championship there in the land of enchantment.
76 career touchdowns, a state record in high school, in New Mexico high school.
Busy man.
Could they come option here out of the I formation?
Nope. It looked like they were going to go lead, but instead throws it, missed tackle, and now a foot race down the sideline. Kevin Cummings, touchdown, Team USA. "45 yards. They just got him the football, and he did the rest.
All those times that you make tackles, Team USA and teams of that ilk are going to continue to say, well, keep proving it. You have to make it every time, because one missed tackle turns into
a touchdown, just like that. Thomas Gerard could not wrap him up. And now the point after, and a chance to lead it 25-3. And this time the point after is good by Mike Loftus. So a couple of ticks, under 3 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Team USA finally getting into the end zone for the first time since the first quarter. And all it takes is one missed play, just like that. Next thing you know, you got a big play on your hands. Cummings takes it the distance. The 46-yard touchdown, and Team USA on top 25-3.
The difference in speed evident on that play, because two tacklers had angles on young Mr. Cummings and never had a chance to close the gap.
Cummings is Pac-10 bound. He's from Culver City, California. He will be playing with Mike Riley at Oregon State.
They like running pass patterns in that offense.
Team USA, a little bit of breathing room here. You know, I go back to our meetings yesterday with these players, and talking with the coaching staff. They said, you know, when they got players together, obviously you're looking for guys who can play. But first and foremost, and I believe what the coaches say here, they were looking for character guys. And you got character guys, they understand the game. Intelligence may be as important as anything in a game like this, or at least a system like this, when you have to pick things up and pick them up in a hurry. And that is certainly something that Team USA has had.
Nice open field tackle.
Pat Hinkle was there to make the tackle. Into the road, it ended quickly for Adam Thibault. Penalty marker is down, two of them, back at the 20-yard line.
Looked like there was an opening for a hot second before Hinkle came up to make the big tackle.
Officials talking this one over. Take a look at Glenn Constantine. Chop block
against Team USA, and then we have a legal block by Canada, so those two penalties offset, and it's first down.
Well, they'll go back. The official pointed back to the previous line of scrimmage as if we'll go back and replay the down. Now we're going to have trouble doing that, and I'll tell you why, because the chains have completely moved.
But the officials have they know where the ball is supposed to be spotted. One guy has his foot down for the spot, so they can adjust the chains when needed.
I say we leave it right there and let's
go ahead and play, right?
Set it down and let's go.
Or are we going to re-kick it?
Well, if they're not, there's an official that's awfully lost right now because he's headed down to the other end of the field. Yes, they're going to re-kick this football. You think the conversation between the officials, at some point, someone asked the question, we'll go back and re-kick this.
As a member of a kickoff coverage team, you're most unhappy right now.
A little gassed.
The all-out sprint, and come right back and let's do it again. Not something that particularly excites you.
Now they will re-kick it. Take some local cheerleaders from here, having to change allegiances just a little bit.
Got the right uniform colors, though.
Doing the cheer for Team Canada.
Match up well with Team Canada.
We'll bring it back to the 30-yard line, beg your pardon. Loftus will kick it once again.
He's done a good job of taking a little extra time, kind of like getting a relief pitcher ready. You know, you take a little extra time before you go out there and giving his guys a little chance to gather some wind before they run down again.
Tebow back deep. Instead, it's Maxime Boutin. He brings it out to the 25-yard line. Boutin, I beg your pardon, is Maxime Boutin, number 34. With a name that just rolls off your tongue, out to the 26-yard line. That's where Team Canada will have the football, first down and 10, trailing this game 25-3. And it will be Brandon Bridge who comes out at quarterback.
They need a spark.
They need a spark, and they really have not been able to just get the offense cranked up. It's obviously a very good defensive team. We talked about held Mexico to minus 28 yards rushing, held France to 7 yards of total offense in this tournament. And doing the job again here today. Looking downfield, and that one's overshot the intended receiver. He was running right along, but had an escort, believe me, as Taylor Nill was the intended receiver. Young man out of the University of Calgary. His dad is the linebackers coach on this team.
Yeah, coverage was excellent, blanketed by the corner. And the safety over the top, number 28, Kurt Stottlemyre, back in the area. Kurt grew up in Washington, the Seattle area, is going to go to Yale. But family has its roots right here in this area. Has an aunt here in town and had an uncle who played at Ohio State. So for him, this is almost a homecoming.
Playing that weak safety position. Throws this one downfield, and that time he did have an open man, Julian Bailey, but that is a tough throw, rolling left and throwing out of that right hand. So it'll come back third down and 10. And this is where you really get in trouble against a very athletic defense, is when you put yourself in third down and long situations.
And that was a chance to really hurt that defense, because they got number 5, Jordan Lynch, to bite off of a play fake, and the receiver was able to slip in behind him. And that's the type of play. If you're going to hurt a defense that's aggressive, you have to sting them when you get an opportunity. And instead, as you pointed out, now you're back to third and long, which allows them to unleash the pass rush.
This time, though, they will soft play it and throw it incomplete. Had to drop down a little, and Taylor Nill had the ball sail on him as Brandon Bridge dropping down through that one sidearm. Ball sailed over Julian Bailey. Fortunate it wasn't intercepted, and now Team USA will get the football back. Glenn Constantine trying to fire his guys up as they come off the field. He knew coming into this, didn't matter which seed they were. And he like he told us before, he told Samantha Steele, being the number 1 seed here, all that means is we get to go to the head of the line as far as the child line is concerned. Meant nothing else. Haralahu almost had that block. Good room to run here. Good block. Eric Laura trying to reverse his field. He'll have it in good field position down at the 43-yard line, where Team USA will have the football, a 17-yard return. As we go to Samantha Steele.
Guys, if you remember yesterday when we met with Team Canada, a lot of the guys were saying that their background was in hockey. Well, I found out that in high school they can play hockey and football at the same time, but when they go to college, they have to choose. Now, I assumed right now when I was talking to some people from Team Canada, the majority of them would choose hockey because of its popularity in Canada, but apparently not so much anymore. In the last 10 years in Quebec, it's grown from 8 college teams to 33, so it's kind of slow and steady. But guys, what do you think that's all about? Do you think it's just the influence of the CFL or what?
I think it probably has a lot to do with the influence of the CFL. And, you know, you get in a situation like that, and obviously hockey is the number 1 sport. But that said, probably you look at your options and you think, well, maybe hockey is not in my future, and so I go with plan B.
And opportunities have been created to play more football there. I mean, the CFL's been around a long time. We're talking, 125 years of football.
Absolutely.
In the country of Canada, so it's not like it's a new influence at all, but there are more opportunities, a little bit more because of the satellite TV and the NFL influence and major colleges and the number of guys who have gotten opportunities to come from Canada to play in the United States. Now you look at it and you say, well, hockey is, all my heroes don't just play hockey. They might do other things. I mean, Stephen Lumbala, the running back for Canada, had a brother who was a scholarship player at the University of Idaho and now plays in the CFL. When I was in college at Tennessee, I had a couple of teammates from Canada, one who ended up having about a 15-year career in the Canadian Football League named Dale Sanderson. So you get guys that can drop down across the border, then go back up, and it helps spreading the influence.
Yeah, Lumbala, guy, also has 3 brothers that play. He told us, he said, yeah, he played hockey, but for the most part, football is his love. And then Quebec, now I'm just going to quote. I'm not giving an opinion here. Here's 3rd down and short. This one is thrown and caught. Eric Laura breaks through and he will score. Another touchdown for Team USA, a 35-yard little pitch and catch. The first tackle is missed, and that was all they need.
And unfortunately, it was Thomas Gerard, number 2. You remember the last touchdown pass caught by Cummings? That was Gerard who missed the one-on-one tackle in open field. He misses again this time. Laura makes a great move and cuts inside. And on this 4th of July weekend, no one happier about seeing a young man wearing red, white, and blue than the Laura family, whose mom and dad are Cuban immigrants.
American
so
dream.
Excited to see their son live the American dream.
You're not kidding. Point after is good, and with 46 seconds remaining, Laura takes it to the house, 32-3. And, you know, going back to the debate, and Samantha, you're going to remember this as well. You remember yesterday, Glenn Constantine, what he said about Quebec, how he described it. He didn't say it was the California of Canada. He said it was the Texas of Canada.
Maybe he just doesn't know. You know, he hasn't seen any of those Pac-10 games yet. He goes to bed too early.
Not my opinion. I'm just saying what the man said.
You guys having fun? This is great. I'm listening to 2 of you. This is fun.
Well, Glenn Constantine, he's seen his team falling down by 29 points now. And the defense has played well, but sooner or later, you know what they say about pressure. And certainly they're able to bust a couple here late. And Loftus will kick it away once again.
Number 3, Mike Loftus to kick off for Team USA.
You know, you talk about field position, too. They've had 7 consecutive possessions start inside the Canadian end of the field. This one kicked out of bounds, so should be good field position for Team Canada.
Free kick out of bounds on the kicking team. Ball is placed on the 40-yard line. First down.
So the 40-yard line will be where Team Canada will take over offensively. College Hoops fans, start your 09-10 college basketball season off in Paradise. With the 2009 Paradise Jam, Fox College Sports brings you exclusive coverage of this preseason tournament, which features Boston College, Tennessee, St. Joe's, DePaul, and more in that 2000 field. It's the Paradise Jam coming up here on Fox College Sports. Throwing this one deep, knocked away at the very last second. Couldn't have thrown that any better, but he couldn't have played it any better as well as far as defensively. Pat Hinkle, who had the tackle earlier on the run back, comes across and knocks the football away.
Takes a nice angle and comes over the top in a 2-deep zone and helps knock the ball away. Pat Hinkle played for the head coach of Team USA, Chuck Kyle, at St. Ignatius in Cleveland, finishing up his career playing for his high school coach before he heads off to Miami of Ohio. Play for the Red Hawks.
We get it ahead across the 40-yard line and short gain. Maxime Boutine there on the carry. Just his first carry of the day. He's not been very busy. This is a guy who had a nice game, 142 yards and a couple of touchdowns against New Zealand. And a 78-yard touchdown in that game as well. So now it is a 3rd down and 8. Is Jeremy Doyon Rock said his biggest influence in American football was Tom Brady. Said, why? And said, I love his composure. Cool customer. This time throws this one, and it's incomplete. It'll be punt time for Team Canada. Descharnais was the man that was the intended receiver. Off his hands, and punting unit will come on. But first, that is the end of the third quarter of play. It's all Team USA right now, leading Canada 32-3. Ready to go in quarter number 4, the 2009 IFAF Junior World Championship. 19 and under, the International Association, or Federation, I should say, of American Football. You take a look at our third quarter stats, brought to you by the Pro Football Hall of Fame Enshrinement Festival. It's a one-of-a-kind celebration, and now all of a sudden those numbers starting to be really skewed in the way of Team USA. Nearly 200 more yards of offense, and only 58 yards of total offense is what the Team USA has allowed to Canada.
Yeah, they've really dominated the third quarter, accounting for the gap we see now in the disparity in numbers.
And they'll punt it away here on fourth down to start this fourth quarter. Punts it out of bounds, 39-yard line. Make it right at the 39-yard line. So that is where Team USA will go back to work once again. And they'll go back to Butterfield. So it'll be Philip Butterfield getting his first action here. They basically alternated quarters so far in this game.
And they've rotated the offensive linemen now. You'll see other backs carrying the football. I think David Wilson to go out here, and now you'll see a chance for Brian Fields, number 8, and James Hall, number 4, to come into the game and carry it.
A good day today for Bryce Petty.
Yeah, you notice Bryce Petty handled things in the third quarter.
12 of 12, 177 yards. I'd call that better than a nice day. A lot of guys would love to have nice days like that. Brian Fields takes it ahead. Delaware Player of the Year, 3-time All-Stater. Takes it ahead, gain of 9, so second down and 1.
Should be a relatively fresh offensive line in the game for Team USA. I think these guys played a little bit in the first half, but in the third quarter, as Team USA jumped up the score, they stuck with a different unit. Quarterback, offensive line, running backs, and receivers. So now you'll see these big guys get their chance to fire off and hit someone before they head off to college.
Play action. Throws this one, it's complete. Placencia makes the catch. He had to reach back and get that young man out of Jesuit High School in Tampa, and he is headed to Evanston, Illinois, and Northwestern. Team captain on this in the high school team, football and basketball. Nice grab.
This is a terrific catch. Ball's behind him. Watch him one-arm it behind him in the open field, and then is able to get his shoulders down and protect himself and gain additional yardage. Well done by John Placencia. I think they'll like that.
Jean-Samuel Blanc got a hand on that and actually changed the trajectory, tipped it away.
Nice concentration.
Absolutely. Right up the middle, man. That was a quick hit. Got there. Abdesmad was the man who was able to knock him down as well. Mehdi's had a nice game today. 6'6", 240 pounds.
Heard a lot about him before we got here, Kevin, and he's lived up to it in the 2 games that I've seen. I can understand why people are high on his potential and discussing the possibility of him getting a college scholarship in the United States.
Mehdi Abdesmad. And you know, you think starting out a program, whether you're starting out a program, I mean, think about being able to go recruit in that area. That just opens up a whole new avenue of being able to get talented. Flag is down, so's the football. It's incomplete. We'll check the marker. Happened right in the middle of the line of scrimmage, and you pretty much know what that's going on with one like that. James Hall, the intended receiver.
And Abdesmad's family, they're natives of Tunisia. His father was a team handball player there, but he moved to Canada, and he's introduced now to American football and gives him an opportunity. It's a holding call goes against the United States.
Team handball. Now, you've worked some Olympics. Did you get a chance to check that? You know, Team
handball.
Olajuwon was a
team handball
player.
It's a terrific sport. It's something the United States has no real grasp on because we don't play it at a club level or a high school level or a college level. And they're always trying to get athletes to play it later.
Kind kind of a combination of, I don't know,
basketball, soccer.
Yeah.
You end up essentially
Dodgeball.
To score, you throw the ball into a net in front of a goalie. But it's the type of sport that if you ever go to Europe and watch it, you'll get a packed house, 15,000 people in a riveting game, and it's very athletic and physical. So that part, the physicality of it, translates pretty well if the guy takes up football later.
2nd down and 21 here. Under 10 minutes to play in this ball game. Team USA leading 32-3. 19 and under Junior World Championship. This was thrown and caught by Kevin Cummings. Cummings, who had the touchdown reception just moments ago, takes that into Canadian territory at the 49-yard line.
And Bryce Petty back in the game, keeps adding to his statistics.
Another 2 Canadian players down. And I think, again, you got to take into consideration, folks, these kids played a game last Saturday. They played a game Wednesday, and now playing this game on Sunday. So 3 games in 8 days. They're attending to Jean-Philippe Bolduc and Mike Dubson. So we'll check in on them coming up. It's 9:35 to go. 32-3 USA. Now 32-3 here in the 4th quarter. 19 and under. It's the International Federation of American Football Junior World Championship here in 2009. We're in Canton, Ohio. The stands you're looking at just on the other side of those. Pro Football Hall of Fame, and there's Bryce Petty, young quarterback from Texas. And he's 13 of 13 in the passing department. Throws this one downfield and stays perfect as he finds Aaron Dobson. He's a big target. Hauled it in and takes it ahead for a nice gain where a 3rd down is coming up.
What a great way for Bryce Petty to head into a gray shirting situation.
It's a 4th down, I beg your pardon. That was 3rd down.
Gray shirting means he will not enroll this fall at Baylor. He will wait until the winter or the spring semester, depending on how, whatever you want to call it. So that would be January. So he won't have a chance to play football again officially until next fall. He'll go through spring practice next year, but he'll be gone from it during the fall. He can't work out with the team. He can't eat with the team. He can't, he can't go to meetings. He can't do any of those things. So for him, this is going to keep him warm. Good memories that'll carry him until he's ready to become part of the team again, starting in January.
At least that's the plan, as far as he's probably going to.
Unless something shakes free between now and the fall in Baylor,
Delay of game, so it went from a 4th down and 7 to now 4th down and 12. They'll bring the punting unit on.
Is this the first punt of the game for Team USA, or have they punted before?
I believe they've punted once before this, but he's not been very busy, that's for sure. So it will be Mike Loftus punting for the 2nd time today.
It was so long ago, I missed it.
It's 3rd? Actually 3rd, so it happened twice.
I better get
very
with it.
Early in this game. Well, it's easy to forget because a lot's gone on between then and now. Loftus will punt it up. Nice high hanger. Fair catch is called for, and there's where you have a little experience to think about. Remember, these are high school players, and the fair catch inside the 5-yard line. As we go to Samantha Steele.
Guys, I'm here with Bob Belden. He's the owner of Belden Brick Company, a local guy. What made you want to get involved? You're providing all the medals and the trophy.
Well, Dave Motts from the Pro Football Hall of Fame asked me if I'd be interested in chairing the host committee. And when we found out that the senior championships in Japan, that they use local materials or the awards, we decided that the brick would be a great local material to use here. So we were glad to do it.
Did you make some sort of arrangement that you'd only do it if the USA won, so you could give it to us?
No, we didn't have any arrangement like that, but it looks like that'll come true, so we're happy for that, too.
All right, well, thanks for all your assistance and help. It looks great.
Thank you.
We'll send it back up to you guys.
This one out of the back of the end zone, and there is a safety. A lot of trophies and medals, and it seems like this is a little area right here known for it. You got the busts in Canton, Ohio. I had a chance to check those out yesterday. It's just absolutely gorgeous. This one, bad snap. It really actually wasn't a bad snap. It was right there. He was reading defense as well. He should have been looking at the football.
Yeah, and I think what happened is probably the snap count and being prepared. He might not have thought he even activated everything yet to let the center know, and the snap came anyway. And from that distance, and as hard as the snap was, tough to handle.
Yeah.
Those beautiful trophies,
yes, it
though,
is.
but that is a tradition to use local materials in the making of the trophies and the medals when you're conducting an international competition. And Belden Bricks, the largest family-owned brick company in the United States of America, providing the resources for these trophies, the base for the trophies, and the medals also will have brick involved with them to go with the gold and the silver and the bronze medals. So very, very nicely done and incorporating the local flavor into the international competition.
Got them holding our table up right here in the booth.
Hey, you know, this is the best stuff. You know, you don't want to mess around with anything second rate.
That's right. So after the safety, the second one of the day, it is now 34-3. And take it right back up the middle is Tevin Reese. And Reese will bring it near midfield. And again, this has been a huge key as far as this game is concerned, is Team USA's field position. They have not been backed up all day long. And it just seems like they've either been at midfield or inside Canadian territory where they start drives, not the short byproduct of the drive. I'm talking about they start drives in that territory. So now Philip Butterfield comes back in. Young man from Arkansas on his way to Arkansas State. I want to remind you, college sports fans out there, become a fan of Fox College Sports on Facebook and get instant access to all the latest updates, photos, and videos from our exclusive college sports coverage. Wilson going right. And Wilson, a gain of 14 yards, and he was about an eyelash away from breaking it again.
Great tackle in the open field by Philippe Unshore-Aka. Because if he doesn't tackle Wilson there, that's 6 points. Nice block on the lead by the fullback. Good cut inside. And then a nice open field tackle by Unshore-Aka, number 21.
And in case you're wondering, Unshore-Aka, that is N''DJORE and hyphenate ACKA.
Just like getting Favre.
Yes.
Out of FABRE.
It sounds just like it's spelled. Wilson trying that right side, stutter stepping and then trying to get what he can get. Wilson looks with that number 22 physically. It reminds you, you always play this game when you look at high school players. It reminds you of a lot of another 22, and that's Emmitt Smith. I think his running style reminds me more of Barry Sanders type with the ability to have the lateral movement. He is a stop and change direction guy in a hurry.
But I can understand the build and the number. You can see Emmitt Smith. He would be a faster Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith is one of those guys that the 40 time never impressed you, but rarely did you see him get caught in the open field.
He was fast. How fast are you? Faster than the defensive back chasing me.
Fast enough. You didn't get me.
And
nice
there's
play.
A sack. They needed that one in a big way as Team Canada had to have a play, and they got it. Ron O'Mara, number 40, in there to make that sack, and that'll back Team USA up a bit.
Good pressure by Team Canada. Team USA picked up most of the people, but Ron O'Mara came free. It's been a fun day.
Absolutely. Can't have fun on a day like today. I mean, temperatures in the mid-70s, wispy clouds way up there, pretty much a sunny day. Throw this one, screen pass is complete. Wilson has the first down and more, and he's down inside the 25-yard line at the 24. David Wilson, ranked the number 4 running back in the nation, and the consensus is with any of the opponents here in Canton, Ohio, if this guy's the number 4, I hate to see what 1, 2, and 3 would be like.
Yeah, you gotta love the rankings, right? Who likes this guy better than that guy and that guy better? What'd you tell me before the game? It's comparing what?
It's a Lamborghini and a Ferrari. Which one do you want,
right? All terrific.
The answer is yes.
I'll take both. Being the greedy sort. Got to pitch that one out there.
Yeah, and
let's go ahead and get rid of it.
Held on to it, maybe thinking a little bit more about the clock, a large lead, and the fact that you don't want to turn the football over in a situation like that. And I think, you've got the mentality that's one thing. You're talking to these coaches before. Defensively, the coaching staff said, you know what, we could have done a lot of things differently. As Steve Speck, we were talking with him before the game. We could have done a lot of things more base, because I wanted the kids to have fun. We wanted them to be able to run and go make plays. That's what this game, and that's what this team is about. Let them go, take some chances, make some plays. That is certainly something we have been able to do, and we wouldn't change it for anything.
And that's using their athleticism to the fullest.
Well, timeout on the field. We'll take a break with it. 5:14 to go. Team USA that far away from a gold medal in Canton, Ohio. (34-3), 5:14 to go here in the fourth quarter. As Team USA, the number 2 seed, that far away from a gold medal of the 2009 International Federation of American Football Junior World Championships here in Canton, Ohio. Kevin Eschenfelder, Charles Davis upstairs, Samantha Steele down on the sideline. It has been a nice display of football for these 19 and under football players that have come from all over the world. 8 different countries, 4 different continents.
You know, we have officials from 14 different countries here working.
Referee today from Norway. Here comes the pressure. Butterfield got rid of it. Finds the open man. And Placencia gets into the end zone. John Placencia's first touchdown of the tournament. 6'5", 245 pounds. Young man from Tampa, Florida. He's headed to Northwestern. Takes it in from 26 yards out.
And there's a flag at the end of the play. Man. Eric Laura delivered a terrific block on the corner, and I think he let the guy know about it a little bit. Unfortunately, there was an official right there for Eric Laura, and he threw the flag at the end of the play. But Butterfield, a little trouble getting it out of his hands, but once he did, how about Placencia? You going to stop that big train from coming?
Well, no part of it.
No chance. And Laura did a nice job blocking out on the corner to allow the open avenue for Placencia.
Einar Bolstad is the referee from Norway. You know, you can go watch different games from different regions in the country, and you can tell the different accents, whether it's the SEC or a game in the Big East or whatever. And certainly it sounds a little different here in the Norwegian accent over the microphone.
But you notice speaking English, the international language of football.
Got that right.
You know, when the calls are made, they use English.
Loss of down, that all sounds the same, right? So the point after is good, 41-3. That was one of the questions we had yesterday with the Japanese team. And basically the officials said, you know, when there is an option with the team, we'll do our best to try to explain it. If we can't explain it, all of a sudden I become the coach.
If there's a language barrier, then he'll award the best advantage for that team if they can't communicate clearly. But it's not really that much of a problem. Most of the teams have enough people that can speak it and understand what the call is and know what they want. And, you know, the use of hand signals, because that's what you're using to make a call anyway, it works out.
College sports fans don't have FCS, call 877 to get FCS or visit foxcollegesports.com and get over 72 hours of daily coverage of college sports programming delivered right to your living room. Fox College Sports, where college never ends. Red, white, and blue flying proudly here in Canton, Ohio on this Independence Day weekend. There's some of the members from Team Japan. That's Team New Zealand right there. Germany represented there. And I'm guessing that a lot of these players is what becomes accustomed in international competitions like this. All of a sudden you start trading gear. So you may be running around in a Team Germany or a Deutschland jersey, you could still be playing for Team New Zealand. Trying to break this outside, run out of bounds. This time inside U.S. territory is Adam Thabo, and there's also a penalty marker once again at the end of that play. Noel Grigsby was there to push him out of bounds, but probably a little too late. Jordan Lynch called for the late hit. $15-yard penalty will bring it back to the 35-yard line. And, you know, for Team Canada, I would love to see their offense get on the board. I know, you know, it's great to see a shutout from that standpoint, but, you know, if you want to see all these kids leave with that a little better taste in their mouth, and from the standpoint of Team Canada coming in here as that #1 seed, I'd hate to see their offense get shut out, while that's exactly obviously what Team USA wants to do. See if they can get something going here, because they'll have it first down and 10 from the U.S. 37-yard line. 4.5 minutes remaining. And Team Canada will call a timeout as Brandon Bridge back in at quarterback now. Number 2 quarterback, Jeremy Doyon-Rock, got the start. Again, this is a Team Canada, 30 players from the province of Quebec, 6 from Ontario, 4 from Alberta, 2 from New Brunswick, and a couple from British Columbia. But for the most part, this team is built by Quebec and French Canadians, a strong French Canadian influence. Province of Quebec has won 3 national titles, 2008, the 17 and under championship, 19 and under championship, and the 19 and over University Vanier Cup. That is the equivalent of their national collegiate championship there in Canada.
They do an excellent job there. Again, for people who may not know, 125th anniversary of football.
Yeah,
of
125
American
yards.
football in Canada.
125 years, yep.
And they do play with their own twist on the rules, with a longer field, a wider field. The scoring system's a little bit different. 3 downs, everyone's in motion. That's okay. Different things like that. But still, it's football. And the CFL champion awarded the Grey Cup every year, and you get guys who have played in Canada and the United States. It's still good football.
Being chased around, Bridge will be taken back all the way back at the 40-yard line. And I'm going to guess here, but you talk about the history. I would venture to guess that the Canadian Football League, the CFL, is actually older than what is defined now as the National Football League in the United States.
I think you're right about that in terms of them playing league
organization. League organizational football
versus what's going on. Nice job by Tariq Edwards, who's also going to Virginia Tech. And will he have fun playing in Bud Foster's defense, being a will linebacker with his speed and able to run down plays with that ability? He's going to have a ball. And Bud Foster's going to love being able to turn Tariq Edwards loose in that defense.
You saw him fly right there. Tariq is 6'3", 215. I mean, you're not talking about a little guy who's able to move around like that. You're talking about a guy 6'3", 215, played at Marlborough County High School, had 102 tackles there. Again, he is headed to the Hokies.
And he will enjoy it because it's an attack scheme. Lots of blitzes, zone blitzes. He'll be able to drop into coverage. He'll be able to rush the passer. With his speed and quickness, I think he'll fit in pretty quickly there.
How about you got to give a little tip of the cap to the collegiate coaches around, the NCAA coaches around, that said, you know what, go ahead, you can have my players, go play, go do your thing. Jim Tressel at Ohio State, Frank Beamer obviously there at Virginia Tech, Al Groh at UVA.
Any of these players, Jerry Kill, I believe, is at Northern Illinois now, and he actually has Jordan Lynch playing safety in this game. And I was told on good authority before the ball game by someone on Team USA staff that our best quarterback might be our safety, Jordan Lynch. We took him because we wanted to have him on the team, and the quarterbacks had already been picked. But Jordan Lynch will go to Northern Illinois and play quarterback there next year.
And he was an all-state quarterback in Chicago, threw for 1,200 yards, ran for over 800 yards. So you're talking about a special player, 6'2", 205.
He did the holding here for the kickers.
Hey, and they play some good football in Northern Illinois as well.
Real good football. Ask Larry English, who just came as a first-round draft pick for the San Diego Chargers this year, among others.
Nearly 16,000 on hand for this one today. Bad snapping for the third time today. When was the last time you did a game where there were 3 safeties?
It's been a while.
It has.
And the last time I saw that, and you see it on NFL films very often, Neil O'Donnell, Neil O'Donoghue trying to kick the ball out of the back of the end zone.
Swing and a miss. But that time, you got to give him credit.
There's no miss. He got it.
Well, you got a soccer background. When you take a spinning football and you kick it out of bounds from the 20-yard line, I believe it's going to be an illegal kick or illegal batting of the ball. We'll let the officials sort this out. Now, you wonder, and they do have these clinics all over the country, but you can remember in Norway. Einar Bolstad, so it won't be a safety. Instead,
here's what I'm impressed with the officials, Kevin. You know what I'm impressed with? I think a lot of people went into this game a little nervous because you have an international officiating crew. And in the first 2 games, the United States had a ton of penalties. And people were wondering how many of them were actually penalties, right, and was it... Well, these guys have done a nice job officiating this game, but their command of the rules is excellent. To be able to know that call and administer it right on the spot. So as people are worried about that, we have a bunch of guys out. Bill Lamagnier, who refereed last night's game, he goes over and does clinics internationally, and Jim Michalek, who's an umpire in the NFL, officiated the Super Bowl between the Giants and the Patriots. They do a very nice job working with these guys.
Butterfield had that one knocked down at the line of scrimmage. And if you talk to officials, they'll tell you everybody's got a job. And for the most part, the referee's job, and among other things, is to know the rule book backwards and forwards, exactly what happened, why it happened, and what we're going to do about what happened. That is his job. You see referees, they can explain it up and down. And Bill Lamagnier yesterday, man, what an honor to have him working a game like this.
I actually was fortunate. That's Jordan Lynch, number 5, the young man we were talking about going to Northern Illinois, and Zach Cutcomb, number 23, he'll be going to Northern Iowa, and Lynch is going to be a quarterback from what we were told at Northern Illinois, and I know Jerry Kill is going to be very, very happy to have him running his ball.
And you got to remember the guys, as they hand this one off and gets into the end zone, goes Brian Fields. The penalty marker's down, but let's talk about this. Brian Fields headed to Virginia Tech. Those big guys up front, is you got a holding penalty. Bryce Schwint is called for that penalty. But among the starting offensive line, Jack Muhort on that left side, he's a first-team All-Stater here in the Buckeye State. He'll play for the Buckeyes next year. Brian Winters on the left side as well. He's going to Kent State. Now you got Evan Swindoll. He is the center. He's from Lafayette, Georgia. He'll go to Ole Miss. On the right side, Aaron Price, 4.0 GPA. He'll go to the University of Indiana. He's from Bloomington. Then you've got Ode Abushi from Brooklyn, New York. He's headed to UVA, 6'6", 300 pounds, ranked as the number 23 tackle in the nation. So the big guys up front, they've gotten the job done today. And after that holding penalty, they'll back it up, and Brian Fields will have another try. Fields headed to Western Michigan.
If I'm not mistaken, don't they have a huge opener?
Western Michigan.
I think they get Michigan early.
You would have thought that Michigan had learned its lesson.
Yeah, you know, the schedules are made 10 years in advance a lot of times.
Well, you know, Western Michigan coming off a bowl season a year ago.
That's going to be a big one if that is indeed the case. I feel like that's right. But in any event, Western Michigan, nice program. Bill Cubit's done an excellent job there.
Threw this one behind the intended receiver, Brian Fields.
Yeah, that's one Phil Butterfield would love to have back, because if he sticks it in the right spot, that allows Fields to catch it and continue to run.
He might score. He probably a better chance of scoring than not. Well, we had a chance at Walsh University just north of Canton, Ohio, to spend some time with these kids and a chance to really watch them interact and see, and you really get a true feel. And again, you've been to Olympics, so you've seen that in that Olympic Village setting. But from the standpoint, you got kids from Team Sweden playing ping pong against kids from Team USA. They're all playing videos together. And what I thought was really, it transcended any kind of language barrier or anything like that, was the fact that they would all go over and watch DVDs of game films. And you would hear them go, oh, and you'd hear the oohs and the ahs and things like that on big hits. And I looked over
like
to
a
see.
Video game,
exactly. I looked over to see what team that was doing all the oohs and the ahs and giving high fives. And it was Sweden.
Team Sweden, enjoying themselves. So Team USA, legal procedure there. They'll have to go back and do it again now, 4th and 18. They'll just go for it here, I believe. But, yeah, you're right. It's an Olympic Village type of a situation, the setup, and I think everyone came out the better for it.
Now this is 4th and goal. They give it to Fields. Fields fights his way down to the 6-yard line, and that is where Team Canada will get the football back. So Team USA, second play of the game, got an interception by Storm Klein. Their first offensive play, Bryce Petty stood up and threw an absolute strike to Jamal Davis. And less than a minute deep into this game, it was already a 6-point lead for Team USA. Then next possession, they force a safety. They led 8-0 at that point, just kind of poured it on after that. Had a 15-3 lead at halftime, 18-3 lead, I beg your pardon, at halftime. And now 41-3. Team Canada's defense has been pretty good, but not good enough. That's Maxime Boutine. Boutine gets out of bounds. That'll stop the clock with just under 2 minutes remaining.
Well, I've got to tip my cap to everyone involved with this event.
Oh, my goodness.
When you talk about the IFAF and the international people, and Samantha Steele did a nice interview at halftime with the head of the IFAF, Thomas Viking. Excellent job there. And talk about how the game continues to grow around the world. And Scott Hollenbeck, the executive director of USA Football, that put all this together, he and his staff. But the people here in town, you talk about the people here in Canton and Stark County and working here and coming together as volunteers, absolutely tremendous. Could not be a better spot for this event.
Steve Alec and Mike Preston, our thanks to you as well, helping to get us the information we needed. Our Under Armour players of the game. Bryce Petty, 14 of 14, 191 yards, and threw for 3 touchdowns. Byron Perez Archambault with 7 unassisted tackles and a couple of sacks for Team Canada. Our team players of the game, brought to you by Under Armour. Throwing this one over the middle and incomplete. And that'll bring up a 4th down. So it's now a punting situation. They'll punt this one away. Team USA will be able to get the football back and take a couple of knees. It's been a long day for that man's football team, Glenn Constantine. But like every team that we have seen here in this tournament, they have fought to the end. Sometimes when you got a little more ammunition on the other side, it just works out that way. And today was certainly one of those days.
See if Eric Laura just fair catches this one if they punt it away.
This is a personnel issue. I think you've got. I'm counting 12 right now.
So they called the timeout.
Isn't it amazing how quick you can, the difference, you got 22 players on the field, and if there's 23, it looks totally different.
Throws it all.
It throws it all off. You only have to, because it's almost like you look at it in sections. There's only supposed to be so many people in each section.
If you're in Canada, you'd be one short.
That's exactly right. Well, the fans taking a look at this one, and we want to remind you, football fans, tune in the entire fall semester. Fox College Sports, FCS, offering its biggest slate of exclusive Big 12 football ever. We're in Big 10 territory here. If you want Big 12 football, FCS is the place to get it. Minute 52 left, and they'll punt it away one more time. Liram Hajrulahu. Good pass from center. Hajrulahu gets his foot into it. No fair catch by Laura. Instead, he'll spin away. Trying to get to the outside, and he just might do it. Race to the edge, cuts it back, and gets it to the 35-yard line. He's been a busy man today, and he's been a good football player. Eric Laura, again, family defected from Cuba, and on this Independence Day weekend, a guy living the American dream. He'll play at Eastern Illinois.
Bob Spoo and the Greyhounds. His quarterback in the NFL played at Eastern Illinois.
He's not bad. He's not bad at all.
Some guy named Romo.
Yep. Where's number 9? Just like the man coming off the bench, Philip Butterfield coming in.
Sean Payton, head coach of the New Orleans Saints. An Eastern Illinois guy. Mike Shanahan, former head coach of the Denver Broncos. And look out, coach.
Oh, swing and a miss. He knew it was coming.
Yeah, it's got, I guess that'd be a foul ball. He got a little.
Well, they got him, but they came back with the misdirection, and then they were able to nail it. And I will say this, as those Gatorade showers go, probably a lot more comfortable today here in northeastern Ohio here in July than it will be in November. Let the clock roll down, and 70 seconds remaining, and they'll only have to snap it a couple more times. That's why they keep the play sheets in those laminates now. Got all your charts. Handed off right up the middle, and Hall was hit immediately and brought down. James Hall with the carry. And Menard the tackle. One more snap of the football.
Can't imagine that all these players that participate in this could have had much of a better experience. Of course, the wins and the losses, that's a part of it. But in terms of overall and coming from the distances most of them came from, and being able to play American football in this type of a setting and be embraced by this county and these people has to be tremendous. The memories they'll take home, can't beat them.
Bryce Schwinn is down on the field, being attended to. Schwinn will be playing in Northern Colorado, Columbine High School in the Denver area.
He'll play for a former Nebraska man, Scott Downing.
Up and good to go.
Last thing you want to see is anyone hurt. 30-something seconds left on the clock. Hopefully that's not much of an injury for him.
Snap it one more time and put a gold medal around your neck. Man that they called, Chuck Kyle, that coached this team. He said he got the call. He thought, didn't know anything about it. He said, well, where's the manual on how we do it? They said, Coach,
this is the first time.
Do whatever it is you need to do. So he said, well, think of it as a trailblazing type of a mission. And went and put a staff together, got some of the best players, 19 and under, in the United States, brought them all together here in Canton, Ohio. And after 4 wins, they are the gold medalists. The final score, Team USA wins it over Canada 41-3. And congratulations, the 2009 Junior World Champions. Came in with a dream and a goal, and today had a plan. Executed the plan and realized the dream and the goal. 41-3, the final score. We'll be back to Canton, Ohio in a moment.
The 2009 IFAF Junior World Championship has been brought to you by Walsh University, celebrating 50 years as a Catholic university of distinction. The Pro Football Hall of Fame, America's premier sports showplace and museum. And by Altman Sports Medicine and Mercy Sports Medicine. 41-3, the final score. Team USA comes in here, and they had a plan, a mission, a goal, whatever you want to call it, and they were certainly able to pull it off. And I guess it really kind of starts with the quarterback. It starts with the coaching staff, but it's the quarterback that's got to pull this off. Kevin Eschenfeld and Charles Davis back with you. We'll rejoin Samantha Steele in just a moment. But as far as the goal is concerned, they come in here and really were able to put things together. Team Canada kind of took away the deep ball. They were able to hit things underneath, able to spring David Wilson open when they needed to. It was pretty much an all-around, overall very good game plan.
Well, they went to the half up 18-3, and I go back to when Samantha Steele asked Coach Chuck Kyle about his quarterback rotation, and he said, well, we'll go in at the half and talk about it. Third quarter was all Bryce Petty. They decided to go with a certain unit, Bryce Petty leading the team, and that's when things really extended for Team USA, and they got a rhythm and got things going, and the offense got pretty much untracked at that point. So that, if you talk about halftime adjustments, that's the biggest one that was made. But what a way for Bryce Petty to go out. He's headed to Baylor, but he's going to Gray Shirt, so he won't be there this fall. And this is going to carry him until he's ready to start playing again starting next January.
He's receiving the MVP award down on the field. Let's go down on the field to Samantha Steele.
Coach, you have 10 high school championships in 21 years, but now you have a gold medal for the United States of America. What does this one mean?
Well, it certainly what can you know, you're in football and all your life, and you realize that you watch the Olympic Games and there's this thought, well, that'll never happen for football players and football coaches. Well, I'm not saying this is the Olympics, but talk to the players, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. It's the same idea. And so it's very, very satisfying, very rewarding. I think the kids are going to remember this the rest of their lives. And I know the coaches will. They will.
Coach, you said yesterday when we were talking to you that you wanted the players to understand that there was something bigger than them. Do you think they grasped that after this win today?
Oh, most assuredly they did. This was, you know, this was about their teammates that only a few weeks ago they didn't know. But also, you know, this is about their football coach back home. This is about those players that with the second and third teams on their team that helped them become a great football player. You know, we just said before the game, make sure those people are happy when they go to bed tonight. Make sure they're proud of the USA, and I think we accomplished that.
Coach, most of these guys, their lives are about to change in the next month. You know that process. You stuck with the high school game probably because of that process somewhat. But, Coach, what's your message to these guys? How do they keep this sort of intensity and drive and just the innocence of football when they go to the college level?
I think they're well aware of the next levels get a bit businesslike. But my message from day one was let's learn how to do things right. Just do it right. Learn a lot from football. That's why I love it, because I'm a teacher. I love this thing because it teaches kids a lot. Just do things right. Do things right, because there's a lot of talented people in this world, as we've seen. Just do it right, and good things happen.
Too much has been given, much is required, right, Coach?
That is correct. 100%.
All right, congratulations. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much. And it's great to see a guy like that keeping this in perspective for these players, knowing that, you know what, it's not going to be as innocent once they move on to the next level. That's right. Absolutely.
Remember, he's a teacher in school. And coaches are teachers too. People forget they're educators also, whether he's teaching class or not. But he's the full package. You want to take his Shakespeare course next year?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not sure if I'd be able to get through it, but I would enjoy listening to him. David Wilson will be heading on to the University, Virginia Tech University. In his day-to-day, you know, we came in expecting so much from him, and certainly did not disappoint. He's an electrifying back.
He really is. And Canada's whole game plan going in was to not let David Wilson beat them. Stack the box against him. Didn't want him to beat him inside with the running, but he was able to get outside and catch the football and get into the open field and create big plays, and he scored on an option run. So this guy is something else. He's dynamic, and I think they're going to love what he's going to give them in Blacksburg, Virginia, where Frank Beamer loves nothing more than to run the football.
You know, Coach was talking with us yesterday about how this is a trailblazing type of a team, and really I think could be a start of things to come as far as junior football in the United States, American football here in the United States. And as we said before, a lot of times there were all-star teams from certain counties, from certain areas, but this is in its truest form a national team, and it may be the start of a lot of things to come. And it's not only if Team USA gets better, and like they have been right here, I think it's going to help the entire world.
The world will get better. I go back to the Olympic Games in basketball in '88 when the USA was upset for the gold medal, and many people thought that's why the Dream Team came about in '92. It really wasn't. It was the other countries. They wanted to get better too. They had caught the collegians. They wanted the best. Well, they're seeing that now in the junior level, and now kids in the United States will want to make this team.
Well, Team USA gets the victory. Take home the gold medal here in Canton, Ohio. Once again, the final score. Team USA wins it over Canada 41-3, and they take home the gold medal of the 2009 International Federation of American Football Junior World Championships. Thanks so much for being with us. For Charles Davis and Samantha Steele and all of us here in Canton, Ohio, I'm Kevin Eschenfelder. Have a great afternoon. Again, Team USA wins it 41-3.